Go to teammates.org today. And by Faith Regional Health Services. When you need exemplary care, have faith.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Columbus High School for News Channel Nebraska coverage of high school wrestling. Doug Duda along with Kurt Shevlin as we get ready for Columbus and Norfolk. And when the band's here, you know it's big, Kurt.
That's right. Should be a fun night. It's a big rivalry. There's no love lost between these two teams. Senior night. Expect a big student section and a rowdy crowd.
Well, we're a little bit behind, but that's okay because we're building the foundation for the future here. We have a lot of JV wrestlers and a lot of little kids, which you're involved with. Tell us a little bit about that.
I just helped with the Little Kids Club, and it was fun tonight. We let the little kids, boys and girls, duel against Norfolk. It was a lot of fun. It gets the little guys fired up and makes them love the sport.
Well, we're going to start off with our girls duel here tonight. Norfolk will be a prohibitive favorite because they are one of the juggernauts and the defending dual champions, and will be in Norfolk for the dual championships here a week from Friday. Columbus still a fairly young team, but they've got a few talented girls out there that are rated.
Yeah, we've got a couple seniors on the team, and they're building, but yeah, Norfolk will be the heavy favorite. We're young, a little bit inexperienced, but we'll see what they can do.
And we'll talk about the boys duel a little bit later on, but boy, I mean, you got kids that are wrestling in Nebraska for Columbus. You've got Norfolk that's got a few kids that are pretty bright. There's going to be a couple of really good weight classes out there, but these Columbus boys are for real.
Yeah, the Columbus team it's good this year. They're real senior heavy. I think we have 6 seniors starting. I don't remember how many of them are rated, but they should be a heavy favorite, and they've got some studs.
Well, let's take a look at a couple of the gals that we're going to feature tonight. First off, for Columbus, at 190 pounds is Gracie Trejo. She's 19-4 already this season, ranked 8th in the state of Nebraska for Gracie at 190.
Yeah, Gracie's been around the sport for a long time. She's just a junior, but she's got a lot of experience. She's having a really good year.
And you can pick a lot of kids for Norfolk. They have a lot of returning medalists and state champions, but we're going to go with one of the number 1 ranked wrestlers in the state, and that is Kennedy Kreiner. She is listed at 105 tonight, but they've got an opportunity to maybe move some around. Norfolk's got quite a few girls that are in the top 5, and I guess if you're the number 2 team in the state, that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, they're loaded.
Well, we are looking forward to bringing you a great duel tonight. As we said, it is senior night, so a lot of things going on, and News Channel Nebraska proud to be covering the sport of wrestling once again. We'll be back to Columbus and give you the makeup of the starters who's going to be on the mat in just a moment here on NCN.
After surgery, physical therapy is the next step in the recovery process. At Faith Regional, there's a whole team of physical therapists who can help. Let's meet one of them. I'm joined now by Erin Baumert, a physical therapist with Faith Regional Health Services. Among some of the things that you work on, it's post-surgical therapy. That's a pretty broad term. What all do you get to work on with that?
Well, we kind of treat all parts of the body with that. Anybody that has a surgery where their joint is impaired in motion and the muscles around it are impaired in strength, we will work on shoulders, backs, hips, knees, ankles, to help them get back to what they want to do. So that kind of the timeline of that depends on what the injury or the surgery is. A lot of times it can be an elective surgery where a patient is hurting and they decide, I want to go in and get this fixed, or sometimes it's a surgery that happens as a result of an accident, and there might be a longer timeline with that. They might have a period of time that's limited with weight bearing or use of the extremity or the joint.
So what kind of environment should someone expect post-surgery and they're coming into physical therapy sessions? What should they expect to experience while going through that?
Well, we get a bad rap about, pain and torture and stuff in therapy, and that is never a goal. I always tell my patients, you might be a little sore with some of the treatment, because you're moving things that maybe haven't been moved. If you have an arm that's in a sling or you have a leg that's in a brace, and then we try to kind of start moving it a little bit, but we do not have, our goal is not to put you in tears or anything like that. So I try to calm patients' nerves about that right away. We try to keep it so that they can follow what we're doing and trying to get them to do stuff at home as well. That's always a hard part, giving them homework, but it's always going to be more effective because their time in the clinic is brief. They're in the clinic 2 or 3 times a week, and I tell patients that's 2 or 3 hours maybe out of the week, and the rest of the time is theirs, so they need to really pay attention to what they're doing the rest of the time to take our instructions in that.
And when people are able to get better, what's that like for you as a provider to see it, where their physical therapy comes to a conclusion and they're back, or as close as they can be, back to what they were like before?
Of course, that's the rewarding part of our career. When we have patients that are, successful in their outcome, that's great, right? When you have a patient that can get back to things that they have been limited on, if they've had a joint replaced and they've been really limited on being able to walk or exercise, and now they have this, they can play with their grandkids, or, they can do exercises that they haven't been able to do in years. That's, of course, that's the best part of the job.
Well, Erin, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The yellow jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people, we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
Ashoff Construction of Osmond does it all when it comes to general contracting. From agricultural storage buildings to commercial office buildings, retail warehouses to concrete contracting. The HEI Sentinel buildings help safeguard crops and valuable assets, and Ashoff's professional builders handle the job from the design through the completion of the build. For a free estimate, contact Dylan Bryce, Scott Pullman, or Brandon Ruge. Call 402-748-3551 today. Visit AshoffConstruction.com for more information. It all starts at Big Red Motorsports in O'Neill, a side-by-side built to work with you on the farm or the ranch. A trusted partner when you're out hunting. And the adventurous speed to feel the thrill when it's time to play. Work hard, ride hard, play hard. Big Red Motorsports in O'Neill, powering your passion every step of the way.
Nebraska Public Power District was ready to power the state's ag industry growth in the 70s and the ethanol industry in the 2000s. Today, the need for energy is growing at a rapid pace. We are ready. We are expanding our diverse energy generation mix and building onto an already reliable and resilient infrastructure, not only to power today, but to empower Nebraska's tomorrow. Nebraska Public Power District.
Receiving 3 top heart and vascular honors from Health Grades reflects the trust our community places in Faith Regional. Behind every recognition is a patient who turned to us in a critical moment, a family seeking reassurance, and a cardiovascular team dedicated to being there. Our specialists deliver trusted expertise, proven outcomes, and compassionate care because our patients are and always will be our why. Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute. Triple honors, one dedicated team.
Hey, it's me, one of those students on the waiting list for a teammate's mentor. I've heard teammates is so fun and awesome. You get to talk, laugh, play games, and hang out with a positive, caring adult once a week at school. Teammates help students believe in themselves, and 97% of mentees are proud to be a part of it. I'd love to be one of those mentees, but we need more mentors. So if you got an hour a week to be someone a student like me can count on, go to teammates.org today. Join the team. Be a mentor.
And welcome back, everyone, to Columbus High School. Glad to have you along with us. Doug Duda, Kurt Shevlin, getting ready for tonight's Columbus and Norfolk duel, going through senior night here tonight, and our opportunity to take a look at the starting lineups for the ladies tonight. Takes a while to run down 14 young ladies and young men every time that we get to the weight class. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for. Let's go ahead and take a look at those lineups for Columbus. They are going to have Catherine Clemente right there at 100 pounds, taking on Kenny Holland. Of course, you can see all the lineups there and some of the gals that we talked about and some of the records out there. And when you look at Norfolk, and a lot of those girls, there are a couple that they're moving around, especially there at 10, 15, and 20. There's also an illness at 170 pounds. So Aubrey Nicodem gets a chance to slide in there at 170 pounds. And I guess one of the cool things is, Kurt, you look at all that, there's only one open on the whole board there, and that's unusual no matter how good your team is.
Yeah, it's really unusual with girls wrestling just being so new. They're still building the program, so it should be a fun night.
We take up and down, and you see some of the records there that we have put up for Columbus. Olivia Bice doing a great job as well. We are starting at 190 pounds tonight, so Gracie Trujillo, the young lady that we talked about right out of the gate for Columbus, will be on the mat first tonight, and that should be one of our good matches as we see Bev Bottleneck on the other side. She's 21-8, a three-time state qualifier, and currently has 94 pins, not wins, pins in her career. And those are a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for. Now let's take a look at a couple of those schools, of course, both in the HAC conference, and they're getting ready, the boys, for the HAC tournament this weekend. Norfolk out of the Heartland Athletic Conference. Again, over 1,000 there. The Panthers from Norfolk, and then you've got the Columbus Discoverers, one of the cool names and nicknames, and one of the great traditions that they have for the guys with the robes and everything that goes along with that. Also out of the Heartland Athletic Conference, just a tick smaller with their numbers at 988. But Discoverers have a lot of tradition, and Kurt, we've got a pretty good crowd on hand already here. Even if some of them were just here to watch their youngsters, they're sticking around, and more people are coming in.
Yeah, it should be a full house tonight with senior night. There's a lot of alumni in here. It should be a fun, rowdy crowd.
Well, let's take a look, as I mentioned, a couple of those matchups and more about this Norfolk crowd. You've got, as we said, the state qualifier in Kennedy Kreiner. She's ranked number 1 at 100 pounds. She's moving up to 105. She is 23-3 on the season. And then you've got Daisy Cleveland, was 3rd at state last year. She's currently ranked number 2. Kennedy Warner, 5th last year. She's currently ranked number 3. You got a state qualifier in Kinsey Long at 140 pounds. She's currently ranked 6th in the state. Riley Bauer, 4th place medalist. She's going for 100 career wins. Currently has 90. She's ranked 3rd in the state. Unfortunately, Reagan Mangelson was under the weather today. She is a rated wrestler that will be out at 170. And then we talked about Bobbledike there at 190 pounds. They just got back from the border brawl at Lewis Central, Iowa. Anytime you cross the border into Iowa, you're looking to find some competition. And this is a girls team that is ranked 2nd in the state, according to NE Wrestling, in the dual rankings behind Millard South. And Norfolk will be the favorite again to do some damage on their kind of home mats next week for the girls' state duels. And again, we'll not get too deep into it, but with Norfolk there, Millard South will also be on hand, and we're seeing more teams now kind of get the nod. Not all of the top teams have been there, and that'll be the case. Kearney's ranked 3rd. They won't be there, but there's going to be a lot of them, so it could be really cool to see 1 versus 2. Then for Columbus, as we said, maybe not quite as many rated wrestlers or stellar rankings out there, but you've got Olivia Bice at 105 pounds. That is a freshman that is ranked 9th, so we'll have a battle of rated wrestlers there. Natalie Cruz was a state qualifier last year at 115. You've also got Trejo, as we said, and then at 235, Daphne Laredo is a returning state qualifier here for Columbus that is coached by Eric Bice. Norfolk is coached by Andrew Stowe. And that is our matchups brought to you by Nebraska Public Power District. Always there when you need us, Nebraska Public Power District. Just finishing up their senior night introductions here, and we will be back with more from Columbus right after this.
From saving money to spending on the go, depositing a check while dinner's on the stove, or managing the farm right from the field. Life's busy enough. That's why Elkhorn Valley Bank makes banking easy. With digital banking and teller on demand, quick access for everyday banking with real tellers when you need them. We make it simple to handle life's moments, big and small. It's banking that works the way you do, because your time matters. Elkhorn Valley Bank. There is a difference.
20 kids, 1 SUV, and 1 mission. Snacks. Speedy Mart is where the snack squad rolls deep. Whether it's before the first pitch or after the final out, we've got drinks, treats, and all the fuel to keep your team going strong. Speedy Mart convenience stores. Quick, convenient, and always ready when the team rolls in. Speedy Mart. Snack strong, play strong.
Receiving 3 top heart and vascular honors from Health Grades reflects the trust our community places in Faith Regional. Behind every recognition is a patient who turned to us in a critical moment, a family seeking reassurance, and a cardiovascular team dedicated to being there. Our specialists deliver trusted expertise, proven outcomes, and compassionate care because our patients are and always will be our why. Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute. Triple honors, one dedicated team.
At TC Amish Home, we want to help you live better, longer, with a complete selection of health-focused power chairs from Ultra Comfort. Ultra Comfort features zero-gravity positioning, giving you that weightless feeling and increasing your circulation. Elevate your feet, release tension, reduce swelling, and maximize blood flow. They are fully programmable to your customized settings. With the softest, easy-to-clean fabrics, the entire family is able to enjoy the benefits of your new Ultra Comfort power chair. Live better, longer with Ultra Comfort at TC Amish Home in Norfolk.
And welcome back to Columbus. Everything packed into one night, Kurt. We've got some great alumni that are going to be honored here tonight as well. A couple of them that you know from your time here.
Yep, these guys, I believe one of them was coach, and these guys are from the 80s, back when Columbus was winning state titles left and right. Tough guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As we take a look at what the programs have been here for Columbus, as we said, they just came off of the Norm Manstead Invitational here. So that was a huge tournament, and they're presenting, we talked about the robes, they're presenting some iconic robes. Those look a little lighter than the ones I remember seeing trotting out there at the state championships.
Well, when you qualify for state as a Columbus Discoverer, you get a robe, and when you go to state, it's the original robes that they've been wearing for 50 plus years. So these I'm not sure what they're doing, but those are not the ones they get when they go to state.
No, but those are nice ones that you can kind of wear anytime you want. They can probably wear them while they're sitting in the crowd tonight, even though it's going to be a little warm in here. But getting back to what these teams have done for Columbus after tonight's duel with Norfolk, the girls will be headed to Schuyler on Friday for an invitational. And then, as we said, the Heartland Athletic Conference Championship for both these schools will be at Lincoln Southeast for boys and girls. And that gets underway Saturday morning, and that will be at 9:30. We mentioned that the Norfolk boys really haven't been that busy, although what they did do last time out when you wrestled the number one teams in both A and B, what a triangular they decided to get into last week with Omaha Scott and Creighton Prep. And we were talking with some folks that were there, and that thing went till late. In fact, I think they said it was after 9 o'clock before Scott and Prep even started their duel. Norfolk had the first two duels in that. So Bennington does head into Norfolk for a boys duel that's going to be coming up on Thursday night. That's boys only and scheduled to go at 7. And then, of course, off they go to the HAC tournament. So it looks like most everything has been taken care of here in the pregame. We've got Eric Weisdorfer and Colby Larson as our officials for tonight's two duels. We will take a final break and be back with the start of Columbus and Norfolk. It's high school wrestling right here on News Channel Nebraska.
With 2 board-certified physicians, Dr. Charles Harper and Dr. Alan Spanel offers a high level of expertise in internal medicine. If you're over age 18 and ready to find a trusted physician who will be with you throughout your years, Dr. Harper and Dr. Spanel are ready to provide you with the medical care you need. Whether you are healthy or have several medical conditions, as internal medicine physicians, they provide the care you need. Yankton Medical Clinic, Norfolk location offers so much care so close to home.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people that we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast for the night.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry because you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do. Just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
And welcome back to Columbus. Doug Duda along with Kurt Shevlin. I want to thank our athletic director, Tim Klopnowski, for all that they do here as you get things ready. As you can see, it's a spotlight duel, which is great for everybody but the announcers.
Makes it kind of hard to see.
Good thing. See, that's one good thing for these phones, right?
That's right.
They give us a little something out there. But as we get ready for the start of tonight's duel, we remind you again that we will be at the state duels in Norfolk coming up on Friday the 23rd, so just 10 days away from all of that excitement, classes A and B. So we're looking forward to bringing you all the action and getting about a month away from districts and getting down to the state tournament, the second year of girls having 2 days of the state tournament. So everyone seems to really enjoy and kind of like what happened last year and haven't heard any complaints. And I know the boys like having their own and the girls like having their own. So it's the fastest growing sport in the state of Nebraska, and maybe in the nation is too, Kurt, is girls wrestling.
It's amazing seeing the numbers with the participation increase. It's a lot of fun. Gives a lot of kids an opportunity.
All right. Again, some of the crowd, some of the assistant coaches were joking about being here till midnight. Who knows? There's all kinds of pomp and circumstance anymore, though, when it comes to high school athletics, and it's for the kids, and it's all cool and so on and so forth. But again, we're going to start at 190 pounds. We were talking about the NE Wrestle rankings. Miller and South setting at number 1, 7-0 in duels. Norfolk 10-4. Went to the border brawl, went 3-2, beat Lewis Central 43-34. They lost to 2 very quality Iowa schools. So Columbus tonight, Lincoln Standing Bear, Lincoln Northwest, all of that before the state duels. Kearney sets at number 3. Omaha Westside hasn't dueled that much, but they set at number 4. Lexington is 5th. Then it's Blair, Grand Island, Beatrice, Bellevue East, and York that are ranked in the top 10 in the Class A duels that are coming up next week. As we said, Lexington would be like a Class B school most of the time, but they are Class A when it comes to high school girls wrestling, and more opportunities and more champions out there. But taking a look at the teams that will be in Norfolk, we talked about Millard South is going to be there. Other teams in Class A will be Grand Island, Omaha Bryan, Benson, Marion, and North. Bellevue is going to be there, Omaha Westview, Buena Vista, Westside, South Sioux City, Ralston, Schuyler, Elkhorn, and Blair. So 1 and 2 are going to be there, but we will be missing the likes of Kearney and Lexington and some of the teams more in the central part of the state. In Class B, of course, you've got Les Pinger and his crew there from Pierce, Columbus Lakeview, Battle Creek, Wood River, who's been so good. You've got Shadron, Southwest High School, Summerland, Thayer Central. You've got Lions Decatur Northeast, West Point, Palmyra, Tacoma Herman, Wayne, Auburn, Fort Calhoun, and UTAD. Minden not competing this year in the girls' state duels after having such a good run last year. So those are the teams that are going to be heading down, or in this case, up to Norfolk next week. We'll take one final break, and we should be ready to go as Columbus enters the mat here for their duel here this evening with Norfolk on NCN.
This is Christina Wemhoff from Madison County Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. We know not everyone's home loan needs are the same, and that is why our lenders have both the practical experience and product knowledge to ensure your solution is a perfect match for your needs. So we invite you to come into your local Madison County Bank branch and talk to us about your dream home today. Madison County Bank, here to help you grow.
Receiving 3 top heart and vascular honors from Health Grades reflects the trust our community places in Faith Regional. Behind every recognition is a patient who turned to us in a critical moment, a family seeking reassurance, and a cardiovascular team dedicated to being there. Our specialists deliver trusted expertise, proven outcomes, and compassionate care because our patients are and always will be our why. Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute. Triple honors, one dedicated team.
Hey, it's me, one of those students on the waiting list for a teammate's mentor. I've heard teammates is so fun and awesome. You get to talk, laugh, play games, and hang out with a positive, caring adult once a week at school. Teammates help students believe in themselves, and 97% of mentees are proud to be a part of it. I'd love to be one of those mentees, but we need more mentors. So if you got an hour a week to be someone a student like me can count on, go to teammates.org today. Join the team. Be a mentor.
And the introductions for our girls duel. And I'll tell you what, one of our producers and cameramen for News Channel Nebraska is Columbus alum Elijah Mosier, and we were talking about it with him because just a few days ago we had a chance to do the stage duel in Kearney, Grand Island and Kearney. And Grand Island got a few people in there, and it was pretty exciting just to listen. And Kurt, we talked about the rivalry that there is. And Elijah was saying, pretty much it's Columbus, Norfolk, maybe Fremont if you want to sneak them in there for some football and wherever they can be competitive. And this is where one of the sports where obviously Columbus has been really, really good, especially on the boys' side. The girls are trying to get there, and we were talking about Norfolk as well. So we should hear plenty of crowd reaction tonight.
I think the crowd will be loud tonight. It's pretty full in here. A lot of students, a lot of alumni, a lot of parents.
Anything you want to throw in about the history of this rivalry, whether it's wrestling or not, between Columbus and Norfolk?
I don't know how many years in a row they've wrestled this duel, but it's a lot. And it's always on the boys' side. The girls' side, it might be a little lopsided tonight. They're just really experienced. They've done a great job with their program. They've been around a little longer. But, on the boys' side, it's competitive every year. It's one of those where you can really, the rankings don't mean anything. These guys are coming. Norfolk's always tough. They're going to come in here and try to turn it into a brawl, make it a fist fight. And, like I said, those rankings really aren't going to mean a lot tonight.
You've had all day to kind of sit around and think about it, sit in school, and you know who you're going to wrestle for the most part. This isn't, you can look at a tournament bracket and go, well, I should get this guy in the semis and I should get this gal in the finals, and this is how it should all play out. But here, you pretty much know who you're going to get, and there's going to be some dandies. And just talking with the coach, didn't think that there would be, it's kind of an off-the-record thing, but didn't think that there'd be any bumping, at least on the Norfolk side. So we had a couple of those a week ago in the Kearney Grand Island duel just to try and secure a championship or a win for Grand Island, and it definitely worked out for the Islanders. But don't see a whole lot of movement around. Like we said, the girls' movement here for Norfolk at 5, 10, and 15, and 20 is just all about wrestle-offs and health and where the kids are right now, as they will start at 190, as we heard them say. And so here's your 170-pound wrestlers. Really compact when it comes to the girls, because by the time you get to 140, you're just about done with the duel. Everybody's from 1 to 140, but that's where this sport is. Every 5 pounds, a little different than the guys, even though there's a few more weight classes there for the lighter weights, as we will get the coin toss here to see who gets choice.
This opening match at 190 is one I'm excited for. The Bobbledyke name's been around Norfolk. I think she had an older sister that wrestled. She's tough, and Gracie Trejo from Columbus has been around for a long time too. So that's the one I'm real excited to watch tonight.
Well, this is one that Columbus can get off to a good start here. As we said, they're not going to be favored in many of the 14 matches here tonight. Not that they're not going to win a few, but they just won't be favored in a lot of these. And this is one where they've got a chance to put some points on the board right out of the gate, and then maybe go to heavyweight and have an opportunity to do some damage there as well, because that's where we're going to see two wrestlers that are really one win above 500 for both of them. So Columbus could jump out to a good start here and maybe get the first couple of matches before we wheel it back to 100.
Yep, I'm sure they're trying to. The other one I'm really excited about is 105. You know, the Norfolk kid is definitely higher rated and has a little more experience, but Vice is a coach's kid. She's having a really good year. I think she's only got 3 losses on the year. She's really doing well.
Something about being a coach's kid, isn't there?
You don't really have a choice but to be around the sport.
No doubt about it. All right, we're ready to finally get things going. Thanks for being with us. If you tuned in for the boys' duel, stick around. You're going to see some fun wrestling here for the ladies as well. Gracie Trio, the junior for Columbus, comes in with a record of 19-4. Went to state last year. She is ranked 8th. And as we said, Bev Bobbledike, a 3-time state qualifier, has 94 pins in her career. She's ranked 3rd at 190 pounds. As we get ready and have the first whistle with a tie-up right here in the middle, see who can get some control. That's one of the things you got to watch out for Bobbledike. She's not just here to win, she's here to pin.
94 pins is amazing.
And when you take a look at the career of some of these girls, and still the way the sport is evolving, you're going to see a lot more pins in girls wrestling as you see the technique, the high scoring. So far, nothing going on, though. Just a lock up, and we'll come to the edge of the mat and get a restart 42 seconds in. Bobbledike looking for an opportunity to take that first shot of the match here. Sometimes if you get 2 counter wrestlers going at each other, you may dance around like this in a long, long time. Let's just see who makes the first move.
Bobbledike's doing a good job controlling the ties. She's really controlling the match. She pushed Trejo out, so it looks like maybe she's looking for a stall call.
Well, Kurt and I got a chance to work together last year when we were here in Columbus for an NCN duel with Kearney High, but I want you, for the folks that aren't from Columbus, to just tell people about your wrestling background a little bit too.
Yeah, I've been around it my entire life. I think I started when maybe I was 4 years old. And I've had 3 of my kids come through the program at Columbus Wrestling as well. I help with the kids club and just enjoy the heck out of the sport.
Well, you talked about the possibility of a stall. We did get a stall warning there for backing off the mat. Still no offense yet here in the first 90 seconds. Again, 3 2-minute periods in a standing wrestling meet. Girls or guys who working maybe on a double underhook here for Trejo. I don't know that she's going to be able to toss Bobbledike, though. Might be able to just run through her. But it looks like we're going to go this entire first period here with not much going on. This reminds me of big old heavyweights on the boys' side here, where you end up with that 1-0 ultimate tiebreaker.
Yep, just a lot of hand fighting and pushing.
So we'll go to the card here, and Columbus will get choice, and Trejo decides to go both up.
With 94 pins, I don't think you want to go underneath Bobbledike.
No, that's probably the smart decision, but at what point here will we see somebody do something offensively as they're on the edge of the mat again? Our referee, Colby Larson, say, bring it back in, bring it back in.
Trejo's doing a better job circling and trying to keep in the middle of the mat.
Gracie 19-4 on the season. Trying to get something to happen here to get this hometown Columbus crowd going. And off the mat again. We'll get a restart. But at some point, and this is the whole point of the wrestling, Trejo's going to have to find a way to score, because Bobbledike will get choice in the third and probably take bottom and be able to come off bottom. And even if it's 1-0, it's still 1-0.
Yeah, when you take neutral in a 0-0 match in the second period, she's going to have to take a risk here.
Trejo's might be in a little trouble here. Oh, goes with a little slide by, and Trejo's going to come around. She's got to get that arm free. And there's a 3-point takedown. I thought she was going to lose her balance and it was going to go the other way. And as we said, there's the crowd. There's the student body. Now Bobbledike trying to find a way to get the escape here before the end of the period. Still has 45 seconds to make something happen, but important for her to score.
Trejo's putting a lot of pressure on top.
Yeah, she's trying to get that turn. She's working well from top. But what a big takedown there for Trejo. Staying on the edge of the mat. Eating as much time up as we can here. Bobbledyke. A little surprise out there finally. On a set out, we'll get the escape, and that'll be one for her. And that'll be the end of the period. Scoreless in the first. Well, we'll restart with 5 seconds. Norfolk wants a stall. Coach Stowe over there says she's backing off the mat. And we're also going to see who's in shape here too, Kurt.
Yep. And Trejo's really backing up there. She's got to be careful. Next stall calls another point.
And Norfolk, well, it looks like we got a little blood time here. So Norfolk will come over, and that'll be a help for both of them. And I think Bobbledyke is a little out of breath too. So we're going to get some water. We're going to get some blood. We're going to get that cleaned up. We're just underway with the Columbus-Norfolk duel. Daphne Laredo and Robin Hoppe will be up next in the 235 pounds.
Looks like Bobbledyke might have needed an inhaler. She must have some asthma, but I think this is a good break for Trejo too, because it looked like she was running out of a little bit of wind.
Yeah, good one, Kurt. I was just going to mention it's injury time that's rolling off there. Not get 2 minutes of injury time, you get 5 minutes of blood time. And they have become much more lenient with the inhalers, and we see that just a lot more now. And it looks like she's going to take as much time as she can. You get 2 injuries, no matter what they are. She'll have 48 seconds if she gets in trouble again. But we now go to the third period.
We talked about Bobbledyke being tough on top, and she chose top.
Wow.
Which is a little bit surprising with being down by 2.
Well, so she's going to have to put Trejo on her back. That's the only way she can score some near fall. Trejo explodes and gets the reversal, and she has got her stacked up in a little trouble here. This could be a huge upset. We were talking about it for the crowd. Now Trejo will have to readjust and try and establish position on top here without giving up the escape. But she's going to get 4 near fall points. And that makes it 9-1 in favor of Gracie Trejo Jr. The junior, I should say. This is going to be a lot for Bobbledyke to come back from. She starts with the escape, and if she's having trouble breathing, she probably won't have a chance to do anything. But she needs used to be a 5-point move with a 2-point takedown, 3-point near fall. Now it's a 7-point move, so it's possible.
She's still plenty of time. With the new scoring, it's sure easier to close that gap.
1 minute to go in the opening match here at 190. And they are going to ding. I was wondering. I knew they were at the edge of the mat. Trejo looked like she was trying to circle back in, but they're going to ding her for stalling.
I believe the next stall call will be 2 points, too, so she really needs to do a better job staying in the middle. She needs to circle in here. There she goes.
Yeah.
The problem is, if Bobbledyke's looking for a throw, you need that pressure pushing back in. So she's got her where she needs her here with pushing back.
Down to 35 seconds to go, and Bobbledyke takes her with the leg whip right down to her back, and this is going to be a 7-point move, if not a pin. Looks like Trejo's going to get out of there. I don't think he got enough count to get the 4 near fall. I can't see what.
Looks like he's still holding it. Oh, he did give
3 or 4. It is 4. Oh, my.
Side match, 15 seconds. See if Trejo can build up here.
Trejo will not be able to get the escape. And how about our first match of the night going to overtime? Wow.
Great start.
And now Coach Stowe is talking to the official. Talk about the count to get to 2 points, 3 points, and 4 points for the near fall.
Sure,
what we're looking at there.
You'll see the ref, when they get past 45 degrees, they swipe their hand, and what they're doing there is they're counting. If they get 2 swipes, it's 2 points. 3 swipes, it's 3, and 4 swipes, it's 4 points. I think the coach was questioning whether it was the same hold there, or maybe there should have been multiple exposures for near fall.
Yeah, I think that was all handled correctly.
I didn't see two separate exposures.
So 9-9, Trejo immediately off the whistle, comes in on a single, but she's going to be taken down by Bobble Knight.
What a great match to start with.
Well, it wasn't a pin, and it didn't look like it was even going to be a win, but Ben Bobble Knight will pick up a 12-9 overtime victory against Gracie Trejo of Columbus and put 3 points on the board. Again, you get 3 points for a decision, 4 points for a major, which is winning by 8-14. If you get ahead by 15 points, that ends the match. It's called a technical fall. And you get 5 points, and if there's a forfeit or a pin, you get 6 points. And so pins basically worth 2 times anything else. And right now, Daphne Laredo, an 8-7 senior, returning state qualifier for Columbus, against Robin Hoppy of Norfolk, a sophomore at 12-11 on the season.
This is two more girls that have been around for quite a while. Hoppy, I kind of watched her come up through the youth circuit. Laredo's been around the high school program. I believe she's a junior. And her brother was a really good heavyweight for Columbus High as well.
So get back to some work here in the middle after we saw all kinds of excitement there in periods 2 and 3. Considering it was 0-0 and nothing at all happened in the first period of that 190-pounder, it really got going, and give Bobble Knight credit for finding a way to rally after being down 9-2 in the third period. Trejo wrestled well, and give her credit. I think she realized that she had to go right up the whistle in overtime there, and just a good counter by Bobble Knight.
She was trying to be aggressive, and it was backfired.
So kind of the same story here at 2:35. We're dancing around in the center circle, and already 1 minute and 20 has run off the clock here. Again, it looks like Hoppy trying to put a little more pressure on. She's controlling where they're going right now. Laredo just can't. He's trying to control a wrist, and Hoppy's not letting that happen. And so we're going to dance around and have another scoreless first period here at 2:35 between Laredo of Columbus and Hoppy from Norfolk. Again, girls wrestling. We'll see top chosen here again by Norfolk. Didn't work last match because that's when Trejo made the nice move, but great advantage. Again, I talk about this a lot the last couple of years on some of our radio broadcasts back in the Tri-Cities, but you see top chosen so much more than it used to be. I mean, it used to be automatic down unless you were that much weaker of a wrestler, or maybe a freshman versus senior type thing, and then went both up. You hardly ever saw anybody take top. Now it's just as much a strategy as the other two positions.
Yeah, a couple of years ago they changed the scoring for near fall and made it more rewarding for a top wrestler for being aggressive.
But so far nothing has changed here in period number 2. So Laredo will get choice if we get to a third period. This will be interesting. If she can't get off bottom here, she'll probably elect both up, I would think, but we'll see.
Well, a 0-0 match. She might go back down if she thinks she can get away, too. But Hoppy's doing a good job riding. Really not able to break Laredo down.
Now trying to switch sides here. And maybe, looking for a far side cradle there, but unable to secure the leg. So now going to work upper body, come out around front.
They're on a power half.
Yeah, pressure.
Laredo did a heck of a job fighting that off.
Again, 90 seconds gone, no change. Now Hoppy's got to be careful not to get too far out front and let Laredo get away. Laredo trying to come to a base here. Boy, an escape would be huge in short time.
It's a big win for Laredo if she can go this second period without getting scored on.
And it looks exactly like that is what going to happen. So, yes, Hoppy, give her credit. She rode her the whole time. But now let's see what Laredo's choice is as we go to the third period. She really wasn't close to getting out. She had a couple of moves in there, and she has decided, let's keep going. Let's see if I've been able to wear her down, because you can say how tough it is when you've been ridden for 2 or 3 or 5 minutes, but to put that much exertion on top takes some work too. So
she was really not close to scoring on her feet in the first period, so this might be her best opportunity.
Well, once again, Hoppy comes right out front here. Again, looking for that cradle, and almost.
Just didn't quite get her hands locked.
Now you're working so hard, big guys, big gals. You can see the sweat out there. You might just slip off.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that before, too.
Yeah, it's a little tougher this time in the match to keep your grip.
Trying to secure that far. Oh, lost it. Now Laredo's going to face out.
We get a reversal.
And there it is. Reversal for Laredo. The first points of the match. 2-0 with 1:10 to go.
Got her broke down.
Now Hoppy's got to find it. Oh, Laredo's still going.
Laredo's really working hard out there. Getting some near fall, looking for the pin.
She's got it. 5:02. And there's the crowd at Columbus High School in the 235s.
Daphne's a crowd favorite. They love her. That was fun. She really just outworked her. Just never stopped moving.
Just tech, wait for your time, and she's able to do it. So now Columbus leads in the duel by a score of 6-3, and we go to our lightweights here at 100 pounds. It'll be Catherine Clemente, a 5'9" sophomore for Columbus, against Kenny Hall, an 18'8" sophomore from Norfolk. And expect to see a lot more scoring, or maybe even quick pins in these lighter weights. Look at that action right off the whistle here.
It's almost a shock to the system to go from watching heavyweights to the lightweights.
But it is fun to kind of draw it out of a hat, or coaches agree, let's start here, see what happens. For so many years, let's just start at the lightweight, and the big boys were last. Well, made that national change not that long ago, and I think the sport of wrestling's better for it.
I agree. It's fun for the big guys too, because the whole crowd sticks around and they get a wrestle in front of a crowd.
Well, Kenny Hall, a slide by there, is going to get the takedown for 3-0 lead over Clemente, and she's got the cradle wrapped up. But out of there. We'll get the 4 near fall. So it makes it 7-0 midway through the first period here, and Hall working for more. Boy, in real control too right now.
She's working hard on top. She's doing a really good job controlling the wrist, putting a lot of pressure on her.
Ken's going to try and pop out to the side here and get her turned, and does. You're going to get another 4 count. And there's 4 more near fall. So that already makes the score 11-0. If she can do that again here in the next 30 seconds, that'll end the match. And she's going to get her turn. She might stick her this time. Trying to bridge out as Clemente. This will be the difference between a pin and a major. And it will be a major. 1 minute and 40 seconds. The tech fall. And a 15-0 victory for Kenny Hall. Would have loved to see Clemente have a chance, but sometimes when you get stuck on bottom and can't get out, I think Clemente probably could have done some work, but she just never had a chance to get out of there.
Hall was a hammer on top. She put a ton of pressure on. Just chain wrestled one move after the next, and it paid off.
This is Columbus and Norfolk. Dual wrestling on News Channel Nebraska Television. Olivia Bice, as we said, Coach Bice's daughter, 23-7 freshman, is ranked 9th against Kennedy Kreinert, a qualifier who's ranked number 1 at 100 pounds, but has moved up here to wrestle at 105, and she's got the early takedown. So an opportunity to see maybe a little bit better wrestler here. So Kreinert coming up with an 8-6 team lead after 3 matches here for Norfolk. about it in our duels previously, too. One of the things that you see with these girls, they're just so much more flexible than the boys. When it looks like you're in trouble, they can slide out of there like a worm or snake or whatever you want to call it, wiggly.
Seems like they're double jointed. They're so flexible sometimes. But Kreinert's a hammer on top, too. She's doing a really nice job. Bice is a good bottom wrestler, but Kreinert's just putting a lot of pressure on.
Trying to circle and get out of there. Bice continues to work off bottom, but Kreiner continues with plenty of time left here in the first period. And trying to come out to the side here and maybe work another cradle, but Bice doing a good job. Sit out. Now can she get out? Nope. 30 seconds remaining here in period number 1. 105 pounds, Kennedy Kreiner from Norfolk. Right off the whistle, got the takedown, took her off her feet, and brought her down to the mat. It looks like this is how things are going to go. Short time, but no more scoring going to occur here in the first period. Kennedy Kreiner of Norfolk will have a 3-0 lead over Olivia Bice of Columbus at the end of the first period. I want to thank many of our fine sponsors for allowing us to be here today, including Custom Sports. From screen printed t-shirts to jerseys, they have what your team needs to look great. Check them out at customsportsco.com. And once again, Norfolk will be on top to start the second period. Pretty soon they're just going to quit asking them. So Kreiner was able to ride Bice there for basically 1 minute and 40 seconds in that first period.
I was a little surprised to see Bice choose bottom after that, but she must believe she can get out. I think she had a little help from Coach Bice making that decision.
Coach pretty much always makes the decision. Yeah. And look out.
She set through a chicken wing.
There's the reversal for Bice.
Got a couple swipes of near fall.
Got her stacked up. Oh, they'll go nuts if Bice can finish this.
Yeah, she just couldn't quite get her weight on top.
So a 6-3 lead now for Bice. And it's up to Kreiner. You know this thing isn't over. Kreiner faces up. Still gets that leg. Could take her right to her back here. Or we could get a reversal, depending on how this baby pops. Was her turn. Man, what a battle right here. Still 40 seconds to go in the period.
Bice is still in control, but looks like she's about to give it up.
There is the reversal. Kreiner given the two for the reversal. Still down 1. 6-5. 30 seconds to go here in the second period at 105 pounds between two state-rated wrestlers. Freshman and sophomore, they may see each other a few more times. There's a lot of really good wrestlers in the conference at these lower weights. Bice not going to be able to get out as Kreiner controls an arm, and she may get some short time near fall here. That's the end of the period. Is it going to be 3 or 4? Wow. They count very quickly.
That changes things, doesn't it?
That is huge. Yeah. That's a near fall for Kennedy Kreiner to 4 points. That gives her a 9-6 lead in this back-and-forth affair. And it looks like Kreiner has decided to go both up here. Neutral in the third. Quickly in on a double leg. And has the takedown. Coach Bice trying to get the attention of his daughter. Let's see if we're going to cut here. Yep. We'll go back to our feet.
6-point lead. She's going to look for a major decision here.
Boy, really, 2 good double leg takedowns. Had one in the first period as well. Although it's not over here yet, and now it is. Bice loses control, didn't want to get put on her back. So now an 8-point lead, 15-7. Still a lot of time to go here. Remember, Bice got the reversal in the second period, had a 6-point move. She's going to need a little bit more than that right here. But Trejo did it. Laredo did it. We're going to have a stall warning, actually, on bottom.
It was a quick stall call.
Especially when you're the one behind. You don't see that very often. And of course, at this point, Bice just needs to find a way to get a one-point escape, but instead, pinfall combination here. This might be too much. Kreiner might be able to put this one away. All kinds of time. Can she step over? Readjust. Already got a 4 near fall count. 25 seconds. Going for the pin, and there it is. 5:38. Kennedy Kreiner, who was down for just a little while, comes back, takes the lead over Olivia Bice. Another one of those that we were looking forward to watching. And top-ranked wrestler at 100, Kreiner comes out and gets the job done.
She was good on her feet. She was good on top. See why she's top-rated.
She's even, you could see there, she was walking off kind of shaking her head. Probably
might have been a little tighter than she'd hoped for.
Yeah, didn't expect to get turned and end up being on her back in this one. All right, at 110 pounds, Stephanie Velasquez, 13-13 freshman for Columbus, taking on Giselle Consuelo from Norfolk. She is 3-8 so far on the season, and she is a freshman. So again, getting after it right off the whistle, come off the mat, back to action. Norfolk in on the shot, and Consuelo gets the takedown. Maybe not a ton of experience here for either one of these wrestlers, but this is one of those you walk on the mat, Kurt, and go, I got a chance to win this one.
That's right. That's right.
When you're a 500 wrestler or below 500 wrestler, it's always nice to know you're not wrestling the number 2 kid in the state. Norfolk currently on top in the duel, 14-6. Laredo getting the pin for Columbus. Norfolk winning 3 of the first 4 matches as we started at 190. Natalie Cruz for Columbus and Kennedy Landman for Norfolk will be on deck here. Velasquez kind of been on the defense so far here. Has really just walked into that a couple of times. Consuelo not maybe being as experienced. Kurt not able to maybe take advantage of what Stephanie's doing there.
Yeah, the Norfolk wrestler had a couple of really easy double legs, but Columbus is doing a little better job tying up her wrists this half of the first period.
10 seconds to go in period number 1, and it looks like that's how we'll see it. Consuelo of Norfolk, a 3-1 lead over Velasquez of Columbus. And it will be Columbus' choice, and they're going to go bottom here. And don't forget, we've got a lot more action coming up later this week. We've got some high school basketball. Friday, we've got the Omaha Supernovas at home. Get to watch Merritt Beeson and all of the players that you are so familiar with the Supernovas on Friday night, 7 o'clock, 7:03, the first serve. Supernovas got off to a good start in weekend number 1. And then the girls' state duels a week from Friday. We will have the championship and consolation matches for you here on NCN, and there's going to be the escape for Velasquez, and they'll go back to their feet. So 3-2 in favor of Consuelo. Off the mat they come. Doug Duda, Kurt Shevlin, Connor Luby, our producer and director today, along with a great crew behind the cameras, bringing you Columbus and Norfolk Wrestling here on News Channel Nebraska Television. Under the spotlight.
Velasquez is doing a good job controlling the ties here. Able to put a little more pressure on her.
And just able to get her off balance and get the takedown. Norfolk on top here, 6-2. Still 40 seconds to go in the second period. Velasquez needs to find a way to get this at least 1 point here in this period. Although it'll be Norfolk choice in the third. I think we got one here, Kurt, that's going to go the distance.
Seems that way.
Just again, a couple of young wrestlers. Maybe not some of the technical skills that we saw from a couple of the more experienced wrestlers earlier. Consuela trying to make a liar out of me here. And how about this? Reversal Velasquez to the back. 5 seconds. Can she finish it? No.
Consuela was able to flip out of that. No change of control yet, though.
And I don't think we're going to get an escape. We got a 2-point near fall. So it should be 6-6, right? Not 8-4. Let's see what they have over here on the board. Or did I see that?
I think you got the 2 reversal and 2 near fall. So 8. They must have given a reversal at the end to make it 8-4. But
well, I thought they gave the 2 near fall.
Yeah, they
got a reversal.
They wiped off the Norfolk reversal at the end, so it should be 6-4.
All right, well. We're going to go both up.
Well, they still have the score at 8-4.
I had it at 6-6, Kurt, because I thought Velasquez, her reversal was to her back for 2 near fall.
I think you got 2 reversal plus 2 near fall, yeah.
So that would be 6 to go with the 2 escapes, but anyway, here we go. So that means Velasquez knows she can score, but in on a single leg on the edge of the match, Consuela couldn't finish. Here in the 110-pound division of the girls. Got a lot of wrestling still to go here tonight on NCN. Settle on in. Get on the shot, going to be Consuela. Or Velasquez, bridging out, Consuela now. Could be either gal's fight for position here. We approach 1 minute to go in the third. 8-4, Norfolk on top here. Boy, good job there by Consuela to avoid getting taken down. And now she will get the takedown. And 11-4 with 40 seconds to go. And she'll cut her.
Looking for that major.
Yep, 11-5, looking to get at least an 8-point lead, so she needs one more takedown to do that. 30 seconds. Hasn't been a stall yet. Let's see if Velasquez gets aggressive or just tries to not give up the takedown. Well, she's going to take a shot. Wasn't a very strong one, and that's going to allow Consuela to get the takedown and the 3 points necessary for a 14-5 victory and add a bonus point on. That'll make it 18-6 in favor of Norfolk. 14-5, the final score there in favor of Velasquez. Let's take a real quick break to hear from a couple sponsors. You're listening to and watching Hack Wrestling on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by The Carpet Shop, providing quality residential and commercial floor covering and installation for almost 50 years. Want to know which games we're televising each week? Follow us on X at NCN Sports.
The get-go, we have got to throw us at the edge of the mat. Were they out of bounds? Yes, they were.
Your toe just slid out.
So at 115 pounds, it's Natalie Cruz, the junior from Columbus, ranked 9th, a returning state qualifier. And at 115 pounds is going to be Kenny Landman.
A headlock. Gets close to near fall. There she's getting it. Lamon was really bringing a lot of pressure. Cruz did a good job using that against her for the headlock.
Looking for their second pin of the night. Are the Discoverers. Got this baby locked up good. Now she got enough. Steps back over. Boy, she's got that locked up. What a job down low, though. We talked about the flexibility.
Yeah. Great job fighting out of that.
So Cruz with the takedown and 4-point near fall. Landman will get the escape. And that'll make it 7-1. Again, want to thank our many sponsors as you're watching there on the scoreboard throughout the night. Brought to you by Faith Regional Physician Services. When hard work hits you hard, have faith. Faith Regional Physician Services. For Landman, a sophomore, 8-12 on the season. Going for the throw again. And got it. Now Cruz is on her back. What a sport. What a sport. And got out of there, and it comes right back with a reversal.
They're putting some points on the board in the first period.
9-8. Still got 20 seconds, and we're going to get more. Now Cruz has her on her back. I think only got a 2-swipe, though, if that.
Looks like he's holding two. Same move, so she could get more here.
Boy, just yanked her back down to the mat. 3 seconds, and she'll be able to belly out. Going to be a 2-point near fall, and it doesn't look like Coach is happy with that.
Coach Bice feels like it should be more.
Well, what a first period. 11-8. Cruz of Columbus leading Landman of Norfolk. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that this might be our young official Larson, maybe his first Class A duel. Not that that should be any different, because I see just as quality at B, C, and D. So.
Yep, I think he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
I don't know that Coach Bice agrees right now.
All right, we go to the second period. Columbus and Cruz will be on bottom. And off the whistle, here we go. Both wrestlers were on their back in the first period.
A lot of fireworks in this one so far.
18-6, the lead for Norfolk in the duel. Columbus only one win so far. Now Cruz gets out. Look at that move.
Looks like she's got her.
Good night.
Needs to get her chest up on top a little bit. There it is.
There it is. The pin for Cruz. 2 minutes, 26 seconds. And Columbus picks up another win by pin. And that'll cut the deficit to 18-12 and take us to 120 pounds. Nice job there on the pin. We're going to get to see some of the highlights at the end of the match. A few replays throughout the match as well. But right now, let's move on to 120 pounds. Jersey Genrich of Columbus is a sophomore, and she is going to take on Alejandro Salazar, a senior from Norfolk. Both are a little below 500 on their record so far this season, as you can see on the board. Salazar having a little bit better time of it, but see how this baby plays out. 18-12, Norfolk has won 4 matches, but the 2 that Columbus have won by pins. A little different than the last match here, Kurt. We had a ton of points right off the whistle.
A little slower pace.
This is more like the first 2 where we didn't have any scoring at 190 or 235 in the first period. Salazar gonna make sure we get some points here. Turn Genrich right to her back. And gonna end up going out of bounds. Had her in some trouble. It's going to be a 3-point near fall, so it's 6-0. And a restart in the middle here with exactly a minute to go in the first period.
The duel's a little closer than I expected, but I think we're coming into some of Norfolk's stronger weights, some of their more experienced girls.
Yeah, we're going to see ranked second, ranked third, ranked sixth, ranked fourth, or ranked third. So there's the stick. So a pin for Norfolk, and Alejandra Salazar gets it in a minute and 12 seconds to move us along here to 125 pounds. It'll be Brittany Braithwaite, a 17-13 sophomore for Columbus, and she'll be taking on Daisy Cleveland, the 22-5 junior from Norfolk. She has a third place last year at state. She's got 86 victories in her career. She's ranked number 2 at 125 pounds. And we may see Norfolk go pin, pin, pin here in these 3 matches. At least on paper, that's what it would look like. But you know what? Braithwaite has 30 matches already under her belt, way more than anybody else on the Columbus team. You got a couple kids that have put together 20 to 25, but she's got 30.
Braithwaite's been around for a while. She's been wrestling several years. She comes from a wrestling family. She's got a brother that we'll see in the boys' duel tonight.
Well, the Braithwaites that I ever heard of were bouncing that round thing around out in the Arapahoe area.
We brought him over to the good side.
Yeah, now North Platte, no doubt about it. 24-12, the score of the team race here. Norfolk, the number 2 ranked team in the state, behind Millard South. Again, they're hosting the state duels a week from Friday, and we will be there on NCN for the coverage. Minute 15 gone here in the first period. Nothing much going on between Braithwaite and Cleveland. Cleveland sizing things up here. And another thing that you can just talk about all the time in wrestling is, okay, all these girls are stacked together. Well, guess who they've got to wrestle in the wrestling room? You see that guys, gals, no matter what, all of a sudden, how come they're good at 4 straight? Well, they get even better when they can wrestle each other.
Yeah, good practice partners.
All right, a little bit like what we were talking earlier, not much going on here, although Cleveland, again, trying to get that underhook, and just before time expires, she needed another couple seconds, and I think she was going to finish that takedown.
She was pretty close.
So again, a scoreless first period here. Brittany Braithwaite of Columbus and Daisy Cleveland of Norfolk. And Cleveland will be on bottom here and breaks away right away to get a reversal.
Quick reversal.
Braithwaite trying to control that wrist. She had a move started there, but just not strong enough to hold on. Now Cleveland will work from the top and see what she can get done here, trying to get a turn made. Oh, and she's already in good shape. And just as time expires in the second period, we're going to get the pin. I don't think there'll be any argument. 3:59.
I actually think
I don't think the score clock was going.
Start it. Yeah, that was
too quick. Yeah, what do you think? 40 seconds maybe was gone.
Yeah,
maybe. So we'll estimate it at 2:40. Daisy Cleveland going to get the pin here for Norfolk and put them up 30-12 in the team race. And now at 130 pounds, it'll be Abigail Flores, the sophomore for Columbus, at 15-10. We'll take on Kennedy Werner, a junior, 17-7 for Norfolk, ranked 3rd at 130 pounds. She's got 79 career wins and was the 5th place medalist last year in 2025. So remember some of these Norfolk names. You'll see them again up at the state duels, fully expecting them to be in the championship. And if it ends up being them and Millard South, what a final that could be. But there's some work to do with the expansion of the duels to 16 teams and not just 8. And on a single, trying to take it straight to a cradle, going to get the 3-point near fall here for Kennedy Werner. Working quick from on top. What's the advice to the bottom wrestler, Kurt? You've seen it where you're a decided underdog and you get taken down right away.
You just got to keep moving. It's easy when you're a little bit intimidated and underexperienced to just try to lay there on bottom, and you can kind of see it's not working out very good here.
Yeah. Flores on her back. Werner gets returned.
What a bridge.
Holy moly. She's going to get out of there. 4-point near fall. Still have Werner in control, but Flores got off her back the first time, and Werner right out to the side looking to run the same thing. Now gets that far leg secured. Actually, the near side leg. Near side cradle. Good night. I don't think Flores can get out of this one. Unless Werner just doesn't have good enough position over there. Good shot by our camera crew down there. Well, she just didn't have it locked up like I thought, so 11-0.
She's just relentless on top, a lot of pressure.
Still 15 seconds. Flores has to not get turned here in these final 15 or she's going to get tech falled. Got that leg again. Well, roll through. Man, that's a quick 2 count. And we will make it to the end of the first period, but it is 13-0. Kennedy Werner of Norfolk over Abigail Flores of Columbus. Heard the Norfolk student section doing the "Why So Quiet" chant in between. I'm guessing that we'll hear that chant reversed a little bit later on tonight.
I think we might. This duel's getting a little out of hand. It was 12-16, just seems like a couple minutes ago. But.
And we got a little blood that we're cleaning up over there on the side. So while they clean up the blood, let's take a break here on NCN. A quick one from the Columbus-Norfolk duel.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil. Make your first and last stop to and from the game at your nearest Speedy Mart or good-to-go convenience stores today. And by Heritage at Fountain Point in Norfolk. Living better.
All right, just finishing up a little janitorial work there to make sure you get all the blood wiped out. That's one thing about the spotlight. You're probably not going to see it all down there, especially on this mat. We don't have a white mat down there. We're going to go neutral, but all Werner has to do is get a takedown, and that will end the match here in the second period against Flores of Columbus. So in her mind, though, Kennedy wants to get a pin here, so she's trying to set up one move.
Looking to go feet to back to get the most team points you can with a fall.
And sometimes you hate to tell your wrestler or coach your wrestler the other way that if you do go down, just don't go to your back. But there it is. On the edge of the mat, can Werner finish it off with the pin? Second time she's had her in real trouble. But she's able to wiggle out of there, and it'll be a tech fall. So Kennedy Werner will win it by a score of 16-0 over Abigail Flores of Columbus and add 5 more points. And that'll make it 35-12 in favor of Norfolk. We have 5 more weight classes, but there will be an open for Columbus listed at 145 unless they do a bump there. But Columbus will have to give up 6 points. So with that win there by Norfolk, they've officially clinched the duel, because the most points that Norfolk could get now, or that Columbus could get now, would be 36. And with that forfeit, you're going to have 41 for Norfolk. And after it, we have from Columbus, Maria Ortega, a senior at 10-9, against 13-6 junior Grace Hoffman. Hoffman, the only kind of blip here in the middle of this lineup that doesn't say state medalist, top 3 of the state in their weight class. So could have a nice little competitive match here between Hoffman and Ortega.
You have to assume she's going to be pretty tough just from practicing with all those girls around her weight.
And it's another thing, and I think we can say this properly, and I want to say it properly here, Kurt, is that you kind of notice what we look at here for Columbus. There's a good shot. Are they going to call it out? They're going to call it out. But, you know, we have Velasquez and Ortega and Flores. We've got Lexington that does very well. Schuyler has their own invite. Ethnicity, sometimes you might bring that love of the sport into a community, and Columbus has a little bit of that mixture here, too.
Yeah, our demographics are, you know, we're a large Hispanic population, and they love the combat sports.
And probably will be one of the big reasons that Columbus is going to be really, really good here in the near future, because it just continues to grow number-wise.
Yeah.
So back to the center. Nothing has happened here in the first minute and a half of this match between Ortega and Hoffman. Not for lack of effort.
They're both staying busy.
Sometimes you just find two wrestlers that want to do the same thing. And it's pretty hard when you're both trying to do the exact same thing, whether you're taking a shot or trying to control a wrist or doing an underhook, whatever the case may be. Ooh, late shot, don't want to get in trouble here. Ortega does secure the leg, but time ran out. Boy, I thought she was going to slip right off that leg to an easy takedown for Norfolk, but not the case. So Hoffman and Ortega scoreless at the end of the first period. And we will see Hoffman on bottom here to start the second. Again, don't forget, at the end of this girls' duel, we'll have an opportunity to talk with the victorious coach, which will be Coach Andrew Stone of Norfolk, and hopefully one of the wrestlers as well from Norfolk. Then we'll get you ready really quickly for the boys' duel coming up next, where Columbus will be the favorite. And there is a throw for Hoffman. And a quick near fall of 4. Our wrestler of the match will be brought to you by Heritage at Fountain Point. Appreciate all of the fine sponsors that are with us here in the NCN area. Of course, based out of Norfolk, so I know our Norfolk Columbus audience has been around with NCN probably as long as anybody in the state, but as we continue to grow, we get to continue to bring you some really cool events. We have the girls basketball showcase Saturday in Kearney with 8 games, more wrestling, more everything when it comes to high school sports. Like we said, we're doing the Supernovas for the second year, so that's fun. And a few other things that go along with it. 45 seconds to go here in the second period, and Grace Hoffman of Norfolk 7-0 over Maria Ortega of Columbus. Hoffman just keeps breaking her down to the mat here, Kurt.
Yeah, she's doing a good job tying up wrists. A lot of pressure on top.
And we'll get her turned. I only saw one swipe, though. She's going to get more out of it, though, as soon as she steps over, and she does. 15 seconds to go. Can she finish the pin here? And yes, she can. Another pin for Norfolk. 3:46 for Grace Hoffman. 41-12. Norfolk continues to roll. Columbus, as we said, was going to be the underdog, but sure have seen a lot of battles in there. I thought maybe we were going to see a lot of pins in 1 minute, and that just hasn't been the case. We really only had one of those.
Yeah, I'm impressed so far. You know, as big underdogs, they're bringing the fight.
So let's go to 140, and right away in there on the shot is Kinsey Long. Ranked 6th in the state, made it to state last year, and she is taking on Peyton Huey, a freshman, only the 4th varsity match of her career for Huey. And she is taken down here by Long. And mentioning those 1-minute pins, Kurt, there's the fastest pin of the night.
We spoke a little too soon.
Yeah. So Kinsey Long comes out, tweaks that shoulder, as you can see. Huey trying to shake that off. And then we move on to 145, where we anticipate an open weight class here. So it'll be Kiara Monroe. She's just a freshman. She'll pick up her 18th win of the season right here on an open weight class. And add those 6 more points to the board. So it'll be 53-12. We've got 2 matches to go. and see if Columbus can pick up another victory, but it's going to be tough because right here for Norfolk, Riley Bauer, 22-3 junior. She has 90 wins. She's ranked third at 155 pounds. She finished fourth at state last year. And at 155 for Columbus, Ariano Bello, a sophomore, at 7-14.
I was surprised to see Bauer's only a junior. She's been around, seems like forever. She's tough.
One of those kids that just go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
My daughter wrestled her when Bauer was just a freshman, and I was super impressed. She's a tough kid.
Some of those states you can varsity it up in the 7th grade. South Dakota being one of them, not in Nebraska. And there's the 2 double leg takedown for Bauer. And I guess I have to say I'm in favor of that.
Yeah.
Well, Bello trying to get out, but maintaining that ankle. Bauer breaks her back down to the mat here with plenty of time and going to come off the mat. May cut her and work from her feet again. Let's find out. You've got Bauer, as you can see, a little bit taller, lankier than Bello, who's a little bit shorter and compact here. So maybe different style of wrestling that way. And there is the escape. And again, Bauer feels more comfortable. See if she can just take her to her back from her feet instead of trying to get her turned once they get down on the mat. Lynette Velasquez of Columbus and Aubrey Nicodim from Norfolk will be our final match here in the girls' duel. Got a stall warning here on Columbus. But it's definitely Bauer bringing the heat. 22-3. Well, Bello, I think, has probably got the scouting report right here.
Yeah.
She's keeping those arms in tight, not letting Bauer get up underneath. So Coach Bice and the crew had a plan. And that plan is get through the first period, then let's see what happens. Right now, Bauer on top 3-1. Again, pushing. They're going to come off the mat, and there is going to be another stall warning. So 1 point for Bauer. I was on the other side, I'm going, I'm not trying to get off the mat. She's just pushing me that way, and I get it. And then there is the takedown. And that'll be the end of the first period. So officially the score is 6-1 in favor of Bauer of Norfolk. And Columbus Bello is going to take down here. She didn't truly escape. She was cut in that first period, but Bauer wasn't having any success. So maybe this is where Bello can make something happen off bottom as we get the second period underway at 1:55. Again, we started at 190, so there's only one match to go here in the girls' varsity action. And then the boys should be rolling. I know it's going to be about 8:30, but we had a lot of activities going on. We had JV and little kids beforehand here tonight, senior night, all kinds of things. And waiting for maybe just one more little something from Columbus here to get this crowd going in the girls' duel, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here. Bauer has got this one pretzeled up pretty good. Official Mr. Weisdorfer looking under. Still a minute to go here, and there's the stick. So officially, we'll make it 2:57 and keep adding the points up here for Norfolk. Riley Bauer, the win at 155 pounds. And that'll take us to our final match here for the girls' duel. At 170 pounds for Columbus will be Lynette Velasquez, a freshman, at 9-10. And over here for the Norfolk Panthers, it will be Aubrey Nicodim. And Nicodim is a late replacement today for Reagan Mangelson, who was a three-time varsity letter winner, but she is under the weather today. That time of the year, some schools have already been through it. Some are going through it. Everybody gets hit once in the wintertime, don't they, Kurt?
That's right.
All right, 59-12, your dual score here. And probably one where you have a little bit of an opportunity here for Columbus to take their third match of the duel. Daphne Laredo and Natalie Cruz, the winners for Columbus, while Norfolk has taken everything else. Bev Bobbledyke, and then we went up top, Kenny Hall, Kennedy Kreinert, Giselle Consuela, Alejandra Salazar, Daisy Cleveland, Kennedy Werner, Grace Hoffman, Kinsey Long, Kiera Monroe, and Riley Bauer. So it's been a while since the Columbus crowd has got to make some noise here all the way back at 1:15. Again, not much has happened here in the first 90, although trying to get in on that double and bringing her back onto the mat, getting out of there. Good job by Nicodem.
Velasquez is controlling the action here. We've had, I think, 3 shots to none. She keeps the pressure up. We might see a stall call.
But it's going to be another one of those scoreless first periods here. We had that in the first couple of matches tonight. And we'll go scoreless. So the choice will belong to Norfolk. And they've decided, let's go both up. Oh, no, take top, excuse me. Thought we were going both up. So we're going to see Nicodem take top. And see if Velasquez can get back to our feet here. Or maybe even get a reversal.
Good movement by Velasquez.
Still not out of there. Nicodem trying to hang in there, but there is the escape. So Columbus will get the 1-0 lead. We'll go back to our feet. We'll slide by Nicodem with a toss and the takedown. So 3-1. Norfolk on top. And got a couple swipes there for Nicodem. Velasquez in a little bit of trouble now. Nicodem now trying to finish this thing off in pretty good position if she doesn't get too high.
A lot of time left.
A whole minute, and there's the pin. And that'll end the duel. 2:59, so Aubrey Nicodem probably just figured she was going to have a JV match. She comes in and gets the win by pin. And the final score is Norfolk 65 and Columbus 12. And they will advance on and get ready for state duels and the hack competition coming up this weekend in Lincoln. We'll take a break and talk with Coach and one of the great wrestlers right after this.
After surgery, physical therapy.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people that we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
Ashoff Construction of Osmond does it all when it comes to general contracting. From agricultural storage buildings to commercial office buildings, retail warehouses to concrete contracting. The AGI Sentinel buildings help safeguard crops and valuable assets, and Ashoff's professional builders handle the job from the design through the completion of the build. For a free estimate, contact Dylan Price, Scott Pullman, or Brandon Ruge. Call 402-748-3551 today. Visit AshoffConstruction.com for more information. It all starts at Big Red Motorsports in O'Neill, a side-by-side built to work with you on the farm or the ranch. A trusted partner when you're out hunting. And the adventurous speed to feel the thrill when it's time to play. Work hard, ride hard, play hard. Big Red Motorsports in O'Neill, powering your passion every step of the way.
Nebraska Public Power District was ready to power the state's ag industry growth in the 70s and the ethanol industry in the 2000s. Today, the need for energy is growing at a rapid pace. We are ready. We are expanding our diverse energy generation mix and building on to an already reliable and resilient infrastructure, not only to power today, but to empower Nebraska's tomorrow. Nebraska Public Power District.
Receiving 3 top heart and vascular honors from Health Grades reflects the trust our community places in Faith Regional. Behind every recognition is a patient who turned to us in a critical moment, a family seeking reassurance, and a cardiovascular team dedicated to being there. Our specialists deliver trusted expertise, proven outcomes, and compassionate care because our patients are and always will be our why. Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute. Triple honors, one dedicated team.
And welcome back. We're joined now by victorious coach Andrew Stowe, Norfolk, rolling along. And coach, pretty impressive night for girls that were rated, and a few, including that last match, that weren't even sure they were going to wrestle varsity this morning. Give me your thoughts on how things went for you tonight.
You know, overall, when you win 11 out of 13 contested matches, that's a pretty good night. I thought we can clean up a few areas of our wrestling, but it's been kind of a long night, long wait. We had a lot going on, so warm-up timing was off, kind of came out flat. But yeah, we had a couple girls step up from our JV lineup, had a couple girls go sick today, so had a girl step up in this duel. And it's a tough environment to come down here and wrestle our school rival, so I thought overall we really stepped up and wrestled well tonight.
Most of what we want to talk about is what's still to come for you. We've got conference, we've got state duels, and districts won't be too far away. Sitting number 2 behind Millard South in the dual rankings. What about where your team is in your mind heading into these next 2 weeks?
You know, I really like where we're at. You know, it's crazy to think that we're about a month away from districts. You know, we're still getting our lineup shifted down. Got a couple girls coming down and weight to really get us to our strongest lineup. So excited to get to state duels, got to get our shot at Millard South again. We weren't 100% that first duel, but it's not an excuse. Millard South is ready to wrestle. They're a solid team. So really excited to roll into conference this weekend, state duels next weekend, and districts in 2 weeks. We'll just kind of keep rolling.
What does conference look like? Just kind of overall from where some programs are a little bit farther along in girls wrestling than others.
Yeah, you know, our conference tournament's a little on the smaller side. I think we got 11 teams total. It's kind of nice. We get to see some of the Lincoln schools we don't see a ton throughout the season. You know, we'll go see Columbus again. We see Fremont. We see Grand Island, who's always tough. We'll get to see some Kearney girls that are real tough this year. So I'm excited to get a look at those girls this weekend, a couple weeks ahead of where we're going to be. So it'll be good, kind of another test to see where we're at, but also some tough competition. So
one of the more exciting matches tonight was Kennedy there for you against coaches Donner and Olivia Bice. Tell me how that played out.
Yeah, 100%. You know, Kennedy came out a little flat, I would say. That Bice girl, she's a tough girl. You know, good, solid wrestler. Got a little funk here and there, you know, stays in good position. So she got us out of position a couple times, and we just had to wrestle back. That's why I tell the girls, just keep wrestling, score points. And that's what Kennedy Kreiner did. You know, she went back, secured the major, got on top, went and got the fall, which is what we needed. In a duel, go get some bonus points. So she just kept trucking right along, which is good to see.
All right, well, Coach Stowe, hope to see you. Well, we will see you at the duels next week at your place. I know the community's excited, and hopefully we'll get a chance here to talk to Kennedy in a moment. Best of luck.
Perfect. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, guys.
We will take a quick break and be back with more in a moment.
Hey, it's me, one of those students on the waiting list for a teammate's mentor. I've heard teammates is so fun and awesome. You get to talk, laugh, play games, and hang out with a positive, caring adult once a week at school. Teammates help students believe in themselves, and 97% of mentees are proud to be a part of it. I love to be one of those mentees, but we need more mentors. So if you got an hour a week to be someone a student like me can count on, go to teammates.org today. Join the team. Be a mentor.
Doug you to join by one of the outstanding Norfolk wrestlers that won tonight, Kennedy Kreiner. What about just having the opportunity to have that match? We know you're number one at 100, but you kind of bumped up tonight to see a heck of a match. And you ended up on your back. That doesn't happen very often either. Tell me a little bit about the match.
It's definitely scary ending up on your back like that, but you just kind of have to push through and fight through positions you're definitely have not been in a lot this season, but I just kind of caught off by that. I don't know.
What about where you're at right now? Are you going to stay at 105 or what's the plan?
No, I will be dropping to 105 in about 2 weeks, or 100 in about 2 weeks. That's my plan. I've been kind of up and down, but I will be dropping, yeah.
We were just talking with Coach about everything that's still ahead. One of the big things is trying to repeat as the state dual champion, which you will get a chance to be a part of here too. How important that is for that you get to be at home in Norfolk for this next week.
Yeah. That is super exciting. We definitely do have the same goals as we did last year, and I mean, we're still a super strong team all around, so looking to win it again, yeah.
Well, we'll let you go celebrate with your team, Kennedy. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Kennedy Kreiner, our wrestler of the night here on NCN. And now you can see the crowd getting ready for the boys' duel, and this should be a dandy. Although Columbus, the hometown team, will be favored. Kurt will rejoin me, and we'll get you ready for the boys' duel right after this.
From saving money to spending on the go, depositing a check while dinner's on the stove, or managing the farm right from the field. Life's busy enough. That's why Elkhorn Valley Bank makes banking easy. With digital banking and teller on demand, quick access for everyday banking with real tellers when you need them. We make it simple to handle life's moments, big and small. It's banking that works the way you do, because your time matters. Elkhorn Valley Bank. There is a difference.
20 kids, 1 SUV, and 1 mission. Snacks. Speedy Mart is where the snack squad rolls deep. Whether it's before the first pitch or after the final out, we've got drinks, treats, and all the fuel to keep your team going strong. Speedy Mart convenience stores. Quick, convenient, and always ready when the team rolls in. Speedy Mart. Snack strong, play strong.
Receiving 3 top heart and vascular honors from Health Grades reflects the trust our community places in Faith Regional. Behind every recognition is a patient who turned to us in a critical moment, a family seeking reassurance, and a cardiovascular team dedicated to being there. Our specialists deliver trusted expertise, proven outcomes, and compassionate care because our patients are and always will be our why. Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute. Triple honors, 1 dedicated team.
For Columbus Norfolk duel number 2. This time it's the boys, Kurt, and this time Columbus is favored.
Yeah, it should be the opposite of the girls, at least on paper. Columbus is a heavy favorite.
Talk about where this team has been the last couple of years and where they're getting to go. I remember a couple of years ago when these guys were young, and now they're veteran and they're going to college to wrestle.
Yeah, they've had a lot of success the last couple of years, but you've been waiting for this year. I think we have 6 seniors in the lineup tonight. They're experienced, been around for a long time. They're a really solid team.
There's going to be a couple of really good matchups on paper tonight. One of the kids we're going to be looking at for Norfolk is at 175 pounds, and Tanner Wagner. He was a state runner-up last year, and he'll get Jason Delano from Columbus. And then when you take a look at Columbus, you got to talk about Mason Peterson, undefeated. He's signed to wrestle for Nebraska, the 2-time champion, 3-time All-American.
Yeah, Mason, he's at a different level. He's ranked, I think, 14 and 15 nationally, depending on what you look at. But I don't know that he's given up an offensive point this year. He's given up a couple of intentional escapes, but he's been absolutely dominant.
Those are different type of wrestlers. You know the names of these guys when they don't give up points, let alone get into any kind of problem. But it is senior night. It's Norfolk. It's NCN television. It's a big night, and Columbus is ready to go.
You look around, very, very few schools will bring in a crowd like this for a wrestling meet. It's fun for the kids. I'm excited for them. It should be a great environment tonight.
Well, let's switch over and have the boys duel. It's coming up next here on News Channel Nebraska.
After surgery, physical therapy is the next step in the recovery process. At Faith Regional, there's a whole team of physical therapists who can help. Let's meet one of them. I'm joined now by Erin Baumert, a physical therapist with Faith Regional Health Services. Among some of the things that you work on, it's post-surgical therapy. That's a pretty broad term. What all do you get to work on with that?
Well, we kind of treat all parts of the body with that. Anybody that has a surgery where their joint is impaired in motion and the muscles around it are impaired in strength, we will work on shoulders, backs, hips, knees, ankles, to help them get back to what they want to do. So that kind of the timeline of that depends on what the injury or the surgery is. A lot of times it can be an elective surgery where a patient is hurting and they decide, I want to go in and get this fixed, or sometimes it's a surgery that happens as a result of an accident, and there might be a longer timeline with that. They might have a period of time that's limited with weight bearing or use of the extremity or the joint.
So what kind of environment should someone expect post-surgery and they're coming into physical therapy sessions? What should they expect to experience while going through that?
Well, we get a bad rap about, pain and torture and stuff in therapy, and that is never a goal. I always tell my patients, you might be a little sore with some of the treatment, because you're moving things that maybe haven't been moved. If you have an arm that's in a sling or you have a leg that's in a brace, and then we try to kind of start moving it a little bit, but we do not have, our goal is not to put you in tears or anything like that. So I try to calm patients' nerves about that right away. We try to keep it so that they can follow what we're doing and trying to get them to do stuff at home as well. That's always a hard part, giving them homework, but it's always going to be more effective because their time in the clinic is brief. They're in the clinic 2 or 3 times a week, and I tell patients that's 2 or 3 hours maybe out of the week, and the rest of the time is theirs. So they need to really, pay attention to what they're doing the rest of the time to take our instructions in that.
And when people are able to get better, what's that like for you as a provider to see it, where their physical therapy comes to a conclusion and they're back, or as close as they can be, back to what they were like before?
Of course, that's the rewarding part of our career. When we have patients that are, successful in their outcome, that's great, right? When you have a patient that can get back to things that they have been limited on, if they've had a joint replaced and they've been really limited on being able to walk or exercise, and now they have this, they can play with their grandkids, or they can do exercises that they haven't been able to do in years. That's, of course, that's the best part of the job.
Well, Erin, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
There they are, the Columbus Discoverers with the new fashioned robes, ready to go on senior night against the Panthers of Norfolk. Our matchup brought to you by Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us. Nebraska Public Power District, and we talked about a couple of those matchups we're looking for, and maybe the big one will be the one that ends, because we're going to start at 190, so it'll be Delano and Wagner at 175. Kurt, what else are you looking at here in this boys' duel?
144 should be really good as well. You got Leighton Braithwaite, third-ranked senior, Drew Gatelin, second-ranked junior. They've got some history. They've had some tough matches. It should be a fun one.
And I think we talked about it up with the girls, but I think a few more of these guys are going to see each other in conference on Saturday. So some of this may play into seeding, may play into how the brackets draw out as well. Not a ton, but there's going to be a little bit of that in this match here. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for our boys' duel tonight, brought to you by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for. As we start at 190 pounds, it'll be Colson Anderson of Columbus, and then Jace Nelson will run down the Columbus lineup. Peyton Anderson will be at 285. Then we'll go down to 106. Leonard Garcia, Carter Booz at 113, Gavin Schwarting at 120, Jackson McFarland at 126, Trayton Kropatch at 132, Chase Jenny 38, Leighton Braithwaite 44, Carter Eisenman, another just elite wrestler. Then there's Mason Peterson and Colton Jarecki. Finally, Jason Delano for the Columbus Discoverers. Now taking a look at the lineup here for Norfolk, Aiden Christensen will be at 190. Paco Cuevas will be at 215, and Miles Arenas will be at 285. Then getting back down to 106 pounds here for Norfolk, we will see Adriel Consuelo. Andre Jordan is at 113. Jackson Mateo is setting at 120 pounds. Zach Johnson is at 126. Owen Dobler is sitting there at 132 pounds for Norfolk. Then we've got Trevor Kenny, Drew Galen, Vincent Thomas, Ismail Aguilar, Kalen Thompson, and Tanner Wagner. The head coach at Norfolk is Justin Gray, and of course Adam Kieswetter at Columbus, who of course we've known for me personally, living in Kearney and UNK and all the things that he did, and the UNK coaching tree that is all over the state of Nebraska from high school to college. I know a real source of pride for one of the top collegiate programs in Division II.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't matter what wrestling meet you're at. There's a Kearney alum coaching somewhere.
And that is a look at our starting lineup, brought to you by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for at Medica. It is Norfolk and Columbus. So we've got a hack duel coming your way next here on News Channel Nebraska.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people. Now we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast for the night.
Ashoff Construction of Osmond does it all when it comes to general contracting. From agricultural storage buildings to commercial office buildings, retail warehouses to concrete contracting. The HEI Sentinel buildings help safeguard crops and valuable assets, and Ashoff's professional builders handle the job from the design through the completion of the build. For a free estimate, contact Dylan Bryce, Scott Coleman, or Brandon Ruki. Call 402-748-3551 today. Visit AshoffConstruction.com for more information. It all starts at Big Red Motorsports in O'Neill, a side-by-side built to work with you on the farm or the ranch. A trusted partner when you're out hunting. And the adventurous speed to feel the thrill when it's time to play. Work hard, ride hard, play hard. Big Red Motorsports in O'Neill, powering your passion every step of the way.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Columbus. Doug Duda along with Kurt Shevlin. Want to say thank you to Athletic Director Tim Kopnowski again, Colby Larson and Eric Weisdorf, your officials for tonight's action. And we are getting ready, as you're witnessing the coin flip out there, to see who makes the choice at 190, who to send out. But I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of flipping and flopping in this one, Kurt. I think these lineups are pretty solid.
I think so. I think both have full lineups. There's just not a lot of movement available.
All right, so it's going to be at 190 pounds for Norfolk, the senior Aiden Christensen against the freshman in Colson Andreessen for Columbus at 190 pounds. Do you have any kind of a scouting report on this Columbus 190 pounder?
I might. You know, as a broadcaster, I should be neutral, but the Columbus 190 pounder and heavyweight are my grandsons, so forgive me, I'm a little biased.
Well, there you go. And we all know how tough it is to be a freshman wrestling at the upper weights, especially when you get to these last 3 or 4 weight classes.
Yeah, you know, Colson's he's a freshman, and he's got a tall task tonight. Christensen kid's rated number 8. But Colson, you know, he's only been wrestling for like 3 or 4 years, but he's a special athlete. We'll see what he can do.
All right. Andreessen and Christensen we're ready to get Norfolk Columbus boys duel underway here on NCN. Thanks for being with us tonight. We sure appreciate it. One of the great rivalries just up or down the road, depending on which city and community you live in, and coming in to today's action. And the first whistle of the night. Let's wrestle. Here we go.
You'd expect nothing different. They're starting physical, hard clubs, good hard hand fights, runs him all the way to the gym floor.
I'll tell you what, Colson's wasting no time getting after it here. Some strategy early on here after Andreessen took the first shot. Maybe caught Christensen a little by surprise there, as quick as he was. But, and again, maybe you can kind of tell that this is a freshman body because he's a little taller, a little longer, a little leaner. Going to fill that thing in by the time he's a senior.
Yeah, he's probably a little bit undersized for 190, but he's quick.
How much is Columbus having problems when you got Peterson, Eisen, and Braithwaite just to get into the varsity lineup and you see the takedown?
Double leg.
So Andreessen with the early takedown and a 3-0 lead.
Got a cradle locked up. Just got a little too high with it. He's got to be careful here. Got two back.
And the escape for Christensen. So 5-1 here. 30 seconds remaining in the opening period. And now this time Christensen's in on a single and dumps him for a 3-point near fall. Saw it a lot in the girls. All of a sudden you're on your back, and the next thing you know you're in control of the match, and all this with still time remaining here in the first period. Christensen showing some of that senior experience.
We'll see how Colson does on bottom here. One of the toughest things when you're a freshman coming up, wrestling these big guys, is being able to get off the bottom.
And that'll be the end of the first period with the score. Colson Andreessen of Columbus 5, Aiden Christensen of Norfolk 4. And it'll be Columbus' choice. And they have decided to go ahead and go down. Thought maybe we'd see a defer there. Usually sometimes if you score first in the match and then get choice, you will defer. But not the case here. And immediately to his feet. Look at the strength.
Kid's quick.
Christensen right back in there, trying to fight for the 3-point number. Now you got to be careful. He almost took him over, and there is the takedown for 3. And that will put Norfolk into the lead here, 7-6, with 1:30 to go in the period. Oh, and he's working it here too, Kurt.
Yeah, he's got a wing locked up tight.
Is Colson strong enough to come all the way out of this? So he's got
just a lot of time left.
He sure is strong, though. And Christensen able to start the duel with a pin for Norfolk in 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Well, it was a good start for Colson. Just couldn't finish him on the edge of the mat. But boy, if we get 14 like that, there's going to be excitement whether it goes 6 minutes or not.
That's right. This should be another good one. Jace Nelson's a senior, but Paco Cuevas, he's ranked number 9, but I would expect this to be pretty competitive.
And Paco coming in, one of the many returning varsity letter winners, 7 state qualifiers for Norfolk last year. Oh, Holland, actually it was 2 years ago, but Wagner the only returning state medalist for Norfolk. As we said, Booz and Braithwaite, Eisenman, Peterson, Jarecki, Delano, Nelson, all with state experience for Columbus. At 215 pounds, Chase Nelson, Columbus, and Cuevas from Norfolk. Tell you what, we've seen good action here so far in both matches. Not a lot of leaning on each other, dancing around. even though there's no score in here through the hand fighting in the first 45 seconds of this match. Again, the girls' duel went to Norfolk. Columbus won 2 matches. There was one open. Norfolk took the rest. And Norfolk picking up a win here at 190 pounds to start the duel. See how this, when the visiting crowd's starting to make more noise than the home crowd, that doesn't usually go over very well. So Columbus waiting for something to get crazy about again. Yeah, there we go.
Can you feel the love between Norfolk and Columbus?
Great rivalry between these two. Again, not much happening after an early shot attempt there. Reset with 15. This looks like we're going to have another one of those scoreless first periods, Kurt.
Yeah, both were a little hesitant to pull the trigger on a real committed shot.
So that's the end of the first period. Scoreless between Nelson of Columbus and Wavis of Norfolk. Andreessen Columbus at heavyweight against Arenas of Norfolk will be on deck. And it will be Norfolk on bottom here to start the second period. Quick to the feet, but right back to a single. Looks like he'll be able to, well, did he get him off the mat in time? No, he didn't. Got that leg out of there, going to have an escape for Cuevas of Norfolk. Both look really strong.
Nelson's a really tall 215.
Yeah. Quick slide by. Can he finish it here? Wavis going for the takedown. Norfolk's going to have to make some hay here at these weight classes if they want to have a chance in the duel. Don't think he finished it, though. And we restart neutral. Coach Gray over there saying, got to get that ankle picked.
Tough to finish on a kid that's that tall.
Yeah.
A lot of leverage.
But a lot of leg to get in there on a single or double, right?
It is. But you don't want to be underneath a kid that big, though.
Good number of coaches on both staffs here. Norfolk using up almost the entire, both coaching staffs taking the whole front row of the chairs on their side. Still scoreless here in the second match out of our 14 of the boys duel.
Nice shot by Nelson.
And on a single.
Drug a toe. What a finish. Great job.
Takedown for Nelson. And the 3-1 lead now over Wavis with 36 seconds to go in the second period.
Nice job keeping that toe in bounds. 36 seconds of ride out would be huge here.
And off the whistle, the senior Jace Nelson trying to break down, maybe come off to the side here a little bit. Wavis flattened out, killing some clock. Important to pick up a point here because it will be Nelson, I believe Nelson's choice in the third. Can Wavis pick up this escape? 10 seconds. Getting his base, trying to pick the ankle. Might even turn this into a reversal here. Comes out front. Nelson's going to ride him off the mat here. No points. So we go to the third. Jace Nelson of Columbus 3 and Paco Wavis of Norfolk 1. Nelson with the nice takedown with about 40 seconds to go in the period. And so it will be Nelson on bottom. Wavis is going to have to find a way to get a takedown here at some point if he can't turn him. Nelson gets out.
Got a standing reversal.
5-1 lead now. Careful here, don't get too high on the edge of the mat. Probably a good thing for him that they were on the edge of the mat. Get a restart. A lot of time here for Cuevas, but Nelson on top 5-1. Top position. Looks like we've already seen both these wrestlers looking for some air right here.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of action. You know, a lot of these 215-pound, the heavier weights, you don't see them move like this, but these guys are getting after it.
Cuevas wasn't able to get out in the final 36 seconds of the last period. Here he'll come to his feet and break containment. So now he needs a takedown to tie it. And Nelson, maybe one more takedown, secures the win. Let's see who's aggressive with 1:10 to go. Nelson with the first shot attempt. Cuevas has really been more of the counter guy here in this match, wouldn't you say, Kurt?
Yeah, I would say so, but with a minute left, you know, there's too much time for Nelson to shut down. He needs to keep wrestling.
Cuevas in on a weak shot, nothing happens. Looks like he'll get him maybe shoved out of bounds again, unless he can stand there for, whoa, with a toss out of bounds.
40 seconds left. I'd look for Cuevas to start a sprint here. He's going to force a little action.
Maybe not his strength, so let's see what happens. How he plays it here, 5-2. Cuevas needs a takedown. Neither wrestler's been warned so far, so Nelson's in good shape from that standpoint with 30 seconds to go. Can dance a little more if he needs to. And you're seeing that here. Nelson's backing up. 20 seconds. Cuevas has got to do something here pretty soon. 15. And, oh, there's a switch by Nelson. He's got the single. Can he break him down to the mat? At this point, it probably doesn't matter now.
Keep the toe in and just kill the clock here.
And that's exactly what will happen. Final score, Chase Nelson of Columbus, 5. Paco Cuevas of Norfolk, 2. And it's 6-3 Norfolk here in our duel. Now the heavyweights at 285. Peyton Andreessen of Columbus. He is a sophomore, and he will be taking on Miles Arenas of Norfolk, who is a junior.
Andreessen's a really small heavyweight. He only weighs in at just over 200 pounds. He's giving up a lot of size here.
Yes, he is. And it looks like Arenas knows that. So was it close enough that Peyton and Jace wrestled off?
Yep. Peyton was the starting 215, but he lost the wrestle off. I think it was just last week, so he moved up. It's a real tight match. Great practice partners to have with Andreessen and Nelson.
Can Columbus have the opportunity there at the Norm Manstead this last week, just across the parking lot? I'll tell you what, if Peyton can get Arenas off balance, it's going to be an earth-shattering kaboom because he's bringing speed. He's using his speed.
Yes, he is. He's controlling the hand fight, too. He's quick. You're giving up this much weight. You know, he might be giving up 60 or 70 pounds. You got to be careful on top. You get a little too much momentum going, you get rolled.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty impressive. I would think it would be pretty hard for him to keep him down on the mat here in Arenas, but Arenas is really flattened out here. Peyton Andreessen, though, is in on that arm. That's a lot to turn. That's a lot to turn.
We'll see how Andreessen's gas tank is. It takes a lot to be pushing around a big guy like that. I guess we don't need to find out.
Well, there you go. Got him tipped and got the pin. 1:24. Peyton Andreessen. As the Andreessen boys split here early on. Wins it by pin. And Columbus takes their first lead of the duel, 9-6. How's the heart rate, Gramps?
I'm a little fired up. That's a great win for him.
All right, now we go to the little guys. Around 106 pounds here It's Leonard Garcia, a freshman for the Columbus Discoverers, against Adriel Consuelo, a sophomore for Norfolk. And they're going to get after it right off the whistle here. And out of bounds they go.
I think this is one of the other matches Norfolk probably felt like they have a little advantage. Leo's, he's a freshman, a little bit inexperienced. Tough kid, though.
There's only one way to get experience, right?
That's right.
And there is the takedown by Consuelo. An early 3-0 lead here over Garcia. Coming up next, we start to get into the little bit of the heart here of the Columbus lineup. It's a big heart. It's a secretariat type heart. Like 7 guys when you're in the middle of all this.
Yep.
Oh, coming to his feet, and Garcia ripped the hands away. Nope, he's going to get taken into the cheerleaders over there, or mat maids, as we used to call them. 3-0. Consuelo of Norfolk with the lead. Got a pin each way so far, and Columbus has won 2 of the 3 matches. As we started at 190. Again, Norfolk was an easy winner in the girls' duel earlier tonight. We've got more basketball this weekend. We've got Omaha Supernova Volleyball Friday night. Next Friday, the girls' state duels from Norfolk. And there's the escape. Still plenty of time to go here in the first period. And Garcia gets them back on their feet here, 3-1. Carter Booz is up next for Columbus. He was named the outstanding wrestler at the Norm Manstead Invite last weekend. 3rd at state as a freshman.
Booz is having a great season, too. He's really jumped levels since last year.
.20 seconds remaining here in the first period at 106 pounds. Both looking for that big boy throw. Restart with 15. Shot attempt by Garcia. Good counter. Careful here. And that'll be the end of the period, with Consuelo of Norfolk leading Garcia of Columbus by a score of 3-1. And as we go to the second period, it appears Norfolk will be on bottom. Set out there by Consuelo. Controlled again by Garcia. Consuelo trying to make that bridge. Quick set out again, and he gets out. There's the escape for Adriel Consuelo of Norfolk. 4-1. With 1:40:30 to go here in the second period. Consuelo in on the shot. Don't think he's going to be able to finish this one, Kurt, is he?
Well, he's pretty extended right now. He needs to get his knees under him. Garcia's doing a good job keeping him flattened out. Probably look for a stalemate here sooner than later. Well, he got his knees up. He did a good job knee sliding up in there.
Can he power through? Yeah, he's still got the 2 leg. Well, there he lost it. Ooh, quick switch. No points out of the whole deal. Garcia really quick once he got out of there.
Yeah, he's an athletic kid.
Still 40 seconds to go here in the second period. 4-1. Consuelo with the lead.
Garcia's in deep. Nice takedown.
And it's not 4-1 anymore. Takedown for Garcia. It's 4-4. 30 seconds to go here in the second period. And looking for more for the top position. He's got a wing here.
Run and a half. He's flat.
There's the pin. Columbus.
Place is fired up.
3:41 in a toss-up match. It's the freshman Leonard Garcia to get the win here for Columbus. and make it 15-6 in the team race. 3 in a row here for the Discoverers. Now coming up for Norfolk at 113 pounds is Andre Jordan. He is a freshman, and he is going to take on Carter Booz, the sophomore, as we just said, 27-0. The Norm Manstead Invite Wrestler of the meet last week, which outside of state's the biggest meet usually every year. Placed third at state last year.
Booz is fun to watch. He's just constantly lighting up the scoreboard. Ton of pressure the entire time.
And waste no time here. Single leg takedown. Give the escape. And he's in again. Trying to take him to his back. You know, how much freestyle does Booz do?
He wrestles year-round,
Yeah.
never off the mat.
You have some of those special wrestlers that if they don't take you straight to their back, they're going to let you up, and we're going to do it again. And that's what we're seeing here for Booz. He's already got 3 takedowns and just given up the 3 escapes. Next thing you know, it's 25-10 if you don't pin him. It's already 12-3, 48 seconds into the match.
4 takedowns in about the last 30 seconds.
And he's taking on a freshman. I get it, sophomore freshman, but boy, you can see where the experience is. You're going to have to go back and look and see who beat him at state last year. Holy moly. And got the tilt, got going back points here. That's going to end it. That's going to end it, 19-4. That's it. It took him 1 minute and 10 seconds. Tech fall. Carter Booz.
He is a fun wrestler to watch.
20-6 is the score, and it's also 20-6 in the duel. So we're rolling along here as Gavin Schwarting of Columbus is a 120-pound sophomore taking on Jackson Mateo of Norfolk, also a sophomore. And as they come off the mat, we want to remind you that tonight's action is brought to you by Yankton Medical Clinic. At Yankton Medical Clinic of Norfolk, they're building a legacy, one patient at a time, one generation at a time. From family practice to expert specialists, we're here for you today and every day. Yankton Medical Clinic of Norfolk. All right, looking for our first points here of the 120-pound match. And there's a 3-point takedown for Mateo.
I think this is probably another match Norfolk feels like they have an advantage in. You know, they're both sophomores, both unranked, but Mateo's been around the scene for a long time. He's a really tough wrestler.
A lot of good wrestling going on around the state tonight. And he wrestles streaming some of the good stuff. Rockfin's streaming some of the good stuff. We've got this for you here on NCN. He's getting near fall points here. Schwarting on his back. Mateo getting the count right. Couldn't be any more in the middle of the mat than they are. But Schwarting off his back for the moment. Gonna get the 4 near fall. 7-0. Gavin's got to find Schwarting a way to get off, but boy, Mateo looks like he's making this pretty uncomfortable for him. Gets out front, puts him on his back again. Still 35 seconds to go, but again, still all one move here. He's already got the 4 count. There's 11-0. Schwarting now just needs to get to the second period, and we may have another tech fall here, Kurt.
Yep. It doesn't look like he's going to make it.
Yep, there it is. 152. Tech fall, 15-0. Jackson Mateo of Norfolk picks up the win. And another 5 points on the board. That's a second win for Norfolk here. Makes the score Columbus 20 and Norfolk 11. And that'll take us to 126 pounds. Jackson McFarland of Columbus, the senior, will trot out there against Johnson, Zayek Johnson. is a senior at 126 pounds for Columbus. There's not many of these toss-up matches left out there.
No, you're kind of coming into Columbus's Lions Den here. We've got, I think it's 8 straight rated wrestlers here.
So Norfolk needs another one right here. And they'll come to the edge of the mat with no score. Norfolk, Columbus. Good crowd on hand. Again, if you just joining us, Norfolk won the duel for the girls. We had a lot of activity here before the varsity duels got going with plenty of JV matches. More than usual, I would say. I've been to a lot of duels that had as many JV matches, which is great, boys and girls. Of course, they had the youth kids here as well from both communities.
Yeah, both of these teams carry big rosters.
Honored some alum, honored some former champs. And off the mat they come. So a minute gone here in the first period between McFarland and Johnson with no score. Johnson came right off the whistle there with a little attack to the headgear.
A little love tap.
Yeah. But he's circling on the edge of the mat again here. Going to go off the mat. Going to be interesting. Norfolk might get a warning here.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty close to a stall warning.
Yeah. This time we see Johnson a little more aggressive, but circles back to the middle. 25 seconds to go in a scoreless first period. Again, the hand fighting continues, but nobody's been on a real great shot as of yet. And it looks like we will get a scoreless first period here between Jackson McFarland of Columbus and Zayek Johnson from Norfolk at 126 pounds. And Columbus will be bottom to start this second period and try and get the first points of the match with an escape or a reversal here. Exploding off the whistle, trying to come to a base here, and there is the escape. So McFarland will get the first point of this match. Columbus up 1-0. And on a shot, can he finish? Single leg. Trying to keep him on the mat here. And he'll be able to yank him off the mat again. Got to find a little more offense here from Johnson, I would think, though, Kurt.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull the trigger eventually.
A lot of hand fighting, but just most of the aggressiveness has been from McFarland. Johnson could be one of those young men that he's got one move, and he won't wait to set this baby up. Minute gone here in the second period. 1-0 on the McFarland escape in this period. There is a stall warning, as we thought there would be. And right after that, in on a shot is McFarland. Jackson again on the edge of the mat. Really close to a takedown. And we've got potentially dangerous. Haven't seen that all night. And no takedown awarded. Finally, Johnson does something off the whistle. Circling with that leg. Good job there to fight that off by McFarland. Still no points. 15 seconds remaining in the second period. It was the first chance we saw Johnson had to score here. And it looks like that's going to be the score going into the third. Jackson McFarland of Columbus, 1. And Zayek Johnson of Norfolk, nothing. And Johnson will take bottom. Had one overtime match, and that started things off tonight on the girls' side from 9-2 to 9-9. All right, Johnson out of there in a hurry. So each wrestler with an escape on their choice. Now we wrestle on our feet for the final minute 50. And again, remember, Norfolk has been warned for stalling. So Johnson's got to stay in the middle of the mat. Sometimes it looks like he's running towards the edge, and other times it looks like he's doing a great job of circling back to the middle. Kind of all with no pressure, too, Kurt.
Yeah, when McFarland gets deep in a tie, Johnson really doesn't like it, and he doesn't want to give any pressure back. He's going to have to here with a stall warning in a tight match.
.120. Johnson keeping distance. Had that one really good shot using his speed, and here we go again on the edge of the mat. But Johnson, yeah, he circled and then pushed out instead of being pushed out or walking out. Minute 10. There he goes again. Johnson off the quick take, but McFarland with the counter.
See McFarland back in on that underhook. He's looking for the stall call.
Yep, the Columbus coaches are saying, give me a stall. Johnson did circle back on, so they'll probably have not stalled now. Norfolk was hoping for a cheap takedown, but no. 46 seconds to go, 1-1. You want to win, you don't want to make a mistake. Who's going to be the first one to take that opportunity here? McFarland's got to be careful that he doesn't get frustrated here either, Kurt, because I've seen that in wrestlers before.
He's pretty experienced, so I don't think you'll see him make any mental mistakes. I think you're going to see him go for that underhook and either take a shot out of it or try to get stalling. Here it comes. I don't know how long they're going to let Johnson back up here.
Yeah, whoa. Better do. Well, there he is again.
Double unders.
Time winding down.
There
10
it
seconds.
Is. That should do it. Just kill a little clock here.
And only 3 seconds left. And so it'll be 2-1 on the second stall call. And a full start. Because Johnson knows he's got to get a takedown in 3 seconds. So now they need to reset the clock here. And McFarland, he can do the same thing, just back out. He gets warned for it. 1 second left. Now you just hit your knee. There's a caution.
Yeah,
the
next
second
one will be a point, but it's not really going to matter at this point.
And that's it. Uh-oh. Let's have some sportsmanship. 2-1. 2-1. Jackson McFarland of Columbus gets the win over Zayek Johnson of Norfolk. Our second true decision of the match, 23-11. We've got a chance to take a real quick break. We'll do it here on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by The Carpet Shop, providing quality residential and commercial floor covering and installation for almost 50 years. Want to know which games we're televising each week? Follow us on X at NCN Sports.
All right, let's move on here. 132 pounds. Already a takedown off the Winslow Trayton Kropatch of Columbus, the sophomore. And he is taking on Owen Dobler from Norfolk. Dobler, another senior here, but he's in some serious trouble. Kropatch has him on his back in the middle of the mat with all kinds of time to work. Well, got out of there. Close to a reversal. 4-point near fall.
Trayton's just a sophomore, but he's having a really nice season.
Breaks him back down to the mat. Boy, he came right off the whistle, too, against Dobler. Dobler just trying to survive now. It's some kind of a restart after being in serious trouble in the first 20 seconds of this match. Give him credit, though. He fought off, and now he's got that wing again. Dobler's in real trouble again. Got him stacked up. Here's Kropatch. Trying to finish it. Can't do it. Another 4-point near fall. But again, Dobler comes out front with 30 seconds to go, even though it's 11-0. Dobler just doesn't look like he is. He's lanky, so maybe just not quite as strong as what Kropatch has shown here early on. And out of bounds they come. Doug Duda, Kurt Shevlin here with you on News Channel Nebraska Television. Again, a big thank you to Connor Luby, who is our producer and director today. All the folks that are in the truck running the cameras to allow us to bring you high school sports or sports of any kind on NCN. Short time here in the first period. Trying to get one more turn. Got two swipes. Got a
close
two
to
count.
another first period tech here.
So it'll be 13-0. Kropatch over Dobler as we go to the second period. And I'm a little, I think it was Norfolk's choice too, wasn't it? And they took bottom.
Yeah,
That's
not
a surprise.
Sure I would do that after.
Yeah, got controlled there the whole period.
Giving up a few different turns. He's right back on that wing.
And I think he's already got the two.
Yeah, the tech should be done. He's going to try to get the fall points, though.
Yeah, can he get? Oh, he did. Trayton Kropatch gets the pin at the 2:19 mark. Nice bit of wrestling. Kropatch just got after it. Dobler got off his back a couple of times, but Kropatch just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And that makes the score the Old Columbus 29 and Norfolk 11. As we go to 138 pounds, it's Chase Jenny, a freshman from Columbus, and he is taking on Trevor Caney from Norfolk. And Caney comes in as a junior, and he is going to be taken down immediately by Jenny.
Jenny's just a freshman, but he's been wrestling since he could walk. He had a lot of success on the kids circuit. Traveled all over the country.
Three freshmen in the lineup here for Columbus. This is the third of the three. Going for another first period pin here. That does not look comfortable, Kurt.
No, it doesn't. So it's just Jenny needs to get just a little more weight on top. He's just a little too far out.
Caney's doing everything he can, but he has got a long way to go. Still a minute 10 to go in this first period. Kicks through and we get a potentially dangerous when he got over there. Got that arm turned a little too much. That shoulder. We give a near fall and another 4 points here. 7-0. Coach Gray over there. A word for the official. And Chase Jenny resumes domination from the top here with a minute to go in the first period.
He's got that wing back in.
And look at him run, look at him run. Got him turned, got him in trouble again.
Did a really good job taking his time and making sure it was tight.
Caney doing everything he can. But this takes a lot of energy out of you. Another 4 near fall. On our way to a tech fall, it looks like again, if we can't get him pinned, 30 seconds to go. We are still in the opening period.
Back in on that wing. He's going to try to take it the other way this time for the fall.
That arm is going to be, shoulder going to be sore tomorrow. Last chance here for Jenny to get the pin. And Caney
Short time with just 5 seconds left, but he's close.
Flexibility. And there is the pin with 1 to go. 159. Chase Cheney of Columbus with the pin. And Columbus on a roll now. They have won 7 of the 9 matches and are starting to get in to the big boys here. Again, the featured match coming up at 75.
This is a great match, too, Doug. You got number 3 Columbus versus number 2 from Norfolk. Should be a lot of fireworks here. Both kids really get after it.
Yep, Drew Gallion, a junior, 144 pounds, state qualifier last year. And as you said, Lathan Braithwaite, the senior, first at the Manstead Invite this weekend, 25-4. He is a 2-time state medalist, and if Braithwaite gets the win here, it would be the 100th of his career. But he's going to have to earn it against Gallion. And the crowd might be able to help a little bit on this one. This will not be a first period tech fall, is my prediction.
I would think that's a safe prediction.
.45 seconds in. Lock up on the edge of the mat. Braithwaite goes for a big-time throw. Out of bounds they come. Don't forget, later on, we'll get a chance to show you some of the highlights and talk to one of the great wrestlers from today's action. Brought to you by Heritage at Fountain Point, redefining senior living with a steadfast commitment to comfort, compassion, and dignity. Heritage at Fountain Point in Norfolk, living better. Good double leg roll through. No points.
Smart wrestling by Braithwaite, knowing you're right on the edge of the mat, pulling him over.
Number 2, number 3. At 144 pounds. Pretty good chance this is a preview of the Heartland Athletic Conference Finals Saturday. Again, Braithwaite looks like he's going for the hero throw again. He's got to be careful. You lose your balance there, you get tossed yourself. And there's the takedown for Gallion.
Just got a little over-aggressive.
Hey, you want to see the aggressiveness, and then there's that fine line. That's what I was talking about. All of a sudden, you get out of position, and bang, there you go. Boy, right off the whistle, how about the rollout and the escape from Braithwaite? He only had a couple of seconds to do that. He gets the short time escape. And Norfolk will take down here to begin period number 2. Battle of number 2 and 3 in the state of Nebraska. What have you seen here this first period so far, Kurt, as we go into the second? What have you seen between these two good ones?
There's a lot of action. A lot of action. Both guys are pushing the pace. Look at the score. Braithwaite's tough on top. I'm curious to see how this one turns out. Little leg ride in. Crossbody leg ride. Probably look for a stalemate.
Yeah, I was going to say stalemate time.
Neither guy's really improving.
Oh.
He's working for a guillotine.
Slipped
there
off.
Again, he just got a little too aggressive with it.
So the escape for Norfolk. Gallion makes it 4-1. Now back to their feet. Can never say whizzer enough. That looked like a pretty good takedown, but they're going to say on the edge of the mat, out of bounds. Well, Braithwaite now's got to find a way. Looks like Gallion is kind of taken over now. Can Braithwaite find a way to just get a good shot in there? He's been working upper body the whole time. 40 seconds to go here in period number 2. 4-1. Norfolk with the lead here. Again, it looks like Layton just wants to keep working that underhook.
Yeah, he's looking for big points, but he's got double unders. Just can't quite get it jacked up.
So he gets out to restart. You can hear the coach yelling, move your feet, move your feet. And again, dancing to the edge of the mat. Boy, we've seen some good attack, counter-attack wrestling between these two.
Yeah, it kind of seems like Braithwaite's banking on a big throw. You'd like to see him with a leg attack, and there we go.
Wow, that was almost a false start off the whistle.
So quick.
And no points. Yeah. And that's what, a little disappointed there. And we're going to see some discussion at the table. That's not Coach Kieswetter.
It's Coach Brownlow, longtime assistant.
It was close, I'm not sure, Kurt.
Yeah, I think he was in the position to score 3, but he just didn't quite hold it long enough.
So we will go to the third period, and Braithwaite will be on bottom. He trails 4-1. Each with an escape, but Drew Gallion had the takedown of the first period. Potentially dangerous. Plus, they didn't start the clock. Maybe run 5 seconds off here. Roll through off the whistle.
Oh, looking for 2.
Yeah.
He got a reversal. He's looking for a cradle out of that, too.
Reverse it right into that near side cradle.
Can't tell if he's got it locked up. I think he does.
I think he does, too. I don't think Gallion has anything here. It's just brute strength right now, trying to get him turned over.
Yeah, Braithwaite's working. You got to kind of settle back down and get your head in his ribs so you can drive him over, but just a little too high on it.
Braithwaite trailing 4-3, a minute 20 to go in the match. Well, he doesn't have it locked up anymore, so he's got to switch out.
Needs to make a quick decision. If he thinks he can turn him, he needs to commit to it. Otherwise, we need to let him go and go for the takedown.
Look at this.
Banana splits. He's just not quite going to get it.
Well, Gallion trying to get out of there. Couldn't get the job done. And now the coaches say cut him.
Yeah, they're down to under a minute, and he's got him, but Gallion's just going to hang on to that arm. Why wouldn't you? You got the lead. They'll call him for stalling if he does it very long.
40 seconds to go. Braithwaite comes out near side. Ooh, boy.
He didn't get the one.
No.
He's got to give separation here. He's running out of time.
There's the escape. All right. Checks the clock. He's got 25 seconds. There have been no warnings for stalling yet. Braithwaite looking for the takedown to let this crowd explode. Gallion with the counter. Now Gallion's in on a single. 10 seconds to go.
Looking for a Jonesy tilt on the edge here. Just didn't quite get it.
And Drew Gallion will get that takedown to win it 8-3. And keep Norfolk in this duel, albeit only 3 points. It's 35-14. And a win there for Norfolk, their third of the duel. But if they're not the underdog, they're not the favorite in any of the remaining matches because we got that dandy at 75. But here we go. Here comes a whole bunch of people to talk about. When you start with Braithwaite, he was one of them, but Gallion gets him. Now it's Carter Iserman of Columbus. He is a senior, 25-4. He won the Manstead Invite on Saturday. 98 career wins, so if he wins this, he'll tie Braithwaite at 99 when they go into the Bennington duel. And he was third at state last year for Norfolk, just a freshman here in Vincent Thomas.
Eisenman's another just elite. Wrestles at a real high level. He's strong. He's 150 pounds. He squats almost 500 pounds.
6 of the wrestlers here tonight for Norfolk are either freshmen or sophomores. So when we do this duel again in a couple of years, we'll see that they're the ones making the move, right?
Right. Tables might be turned.
All right, 6-1 now. Takedown, escape, takedown.
Eisenman's got him all winged up. Looking to stack him up here.
And there is the pin. Those feet come off. There's not much left to have on the mat but your shoulder blades. And there's the pin in 116.
He had that tight.
So Carter Eisenman with the pin in 116. That'll officially make Columbus the winner of the duel with 3 matches to go. And here comes Husker wrestler Mason Peterson. He's committed to Nebraska, a 2-time state champion, a 3-time state medalist, 3-time All-American, 29-0 for Mason Peterson, the senior, against Ismail Aguilar, who's a freshman going, how did I get this draw?
What did I do to make Coach mad?
Thanks, Coach. And again, takedown, escape. This is all about how long Mason probably wants to be out there, isn't it, Kurt?
Yeah, most of these matches, you'll see him get 2 or 3 takedowns and then work for the turn.
Sometimes you want to go out there and show the crowd that you can get a pin in 15 seconds, and other times you do want to get a little work in.
Yeah, you need to blow your lungs out a little bit when you're at this level. You can end the match so quick.
But it's takedown, escape, so quick. There's another one. And it's 12-3. We're on our way to another tech fall unless he's just going to overpower. You can tell senior versus freshman how strong Mason Peterson is. As you said, hasn't been scored on this year except for a couple of escapes, right?
Well, and I think all those escapes that he's given up have been intentional.
And here he is going to finish things off with a pin. Just so strong, and there it is. So 1:09. We're moving along a little quicker here in the boys' duel. Mason Peterson now 30-0. Shows off that Columbus singlet to the student body. And what a nice job by Peterson here today. 47-14, your dual score with 2 wrestlers to go. Here's Colton Jareski for Columbus. Colton comes in, junior at 165 pounds, 4th at the state tournament last year against Kalen Thompson, the sophomore for Norfolk.
Thompson's, he's not rated. He's just a sophomore. He's a good wrestler. Yeah, it seems like there's been a Thompson in this lineup for Norfolk for the last, I don't know. It's a wrestling family. Lots of brothers and cousins.
Oh, man, look at they're going back and forth. We got the let's play football, let's play basketball, let's go bowling. I love it. And Jaretsky in. Double trying to switch it to a single, now can't finish. And Thompson will pick things up there. And not everybody from Columbus that could be here is here tonight. And you ask, well, why is that? Well, because they're playing basketball at Millard North tonight. And Millard North did sweep the doubleheader from Columbus this evening. All right, no score in the first minute here of this period between Jaretsky of Columbus and Thompson of Norfolk. Switching to a single here is Thompson. And he'll force him off the mat. So good, as you mentioned, good work here by the sophomore Thompson. Against a state medalist from last year here for Columbus.
Zaretsky's been out for a few weeks. This is his first match back.
Yeah, you can see that shoulder harness that he's got there on the left shoulder. And sometimes, yeah, you're in the room, but first real competition back, you might be guarded a little bit.
Yeah.
And wrestling heavy with his right side and not using much of the left. And Thompson knows that. Late flurry here, but no scoring in the first period. And another scoreless first period. So we had 3 first period pins out of the last 4 matches, and here we've got a scoreless first period. And it will be Zaretsky to choose bottom here or take bottom in the second. Again, we'll show you some of our top plays brought to you by Elkhorn Valley Bank. For all your banking needs, Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, there is a difference. Looking for our first points. Zaretsky comes to his feet, tries to rip the hands away, and then just throwing him off the mat is going to be Thompson. And Eric Weisdorfer and Colby Larson, your officials here tonight. And a restart here. Zaretsky's tried a couple of different things, and now looked like he was going to try and do a little rollout, but nothing there. Now Thompson just riding him. But Thompson doesn't look like he's been able to do much here from the top, Kurt, so far.
Yeah, he's not really putting Zaretsky in danger, but he's doing a good job riding him.
Colton trying to face him. Leg pick. Got to break him back down, and he does. Good job there by Thompson. And coming out, well, thought he was going to come out front, but thought better of it. Again, Norfolk cruised in the girls' duel here tonight. Columbus is cruising in the boys' duel, but that doesn't mean we didn't have some exciting matches. And here, finally, Zaretsky gets out. 40 seconds to go in the second period, 1-0. Thompson got that arm.
This
And
is
now
where
here's
Zaretsky likes to be. He loves those double underhooks. You see Thompson really wants nothing to do with it.
Yep, and there's the stall.
Backed all the way across the mat.
Stall warning. Didn't circle back in. 14 seconds. Short time again here in the second period. Thompson will get his choice in the third. Again, could be one of those good. Well, and on a double, can he finish before the end of the period? No. Zaretsky was looking right at the clock.
Yeah.
Saying a mini prayer there. Zaretsky 1, Thompson nothing. Thompson takes bottom as we go to the third. And here we go. Who will win the 165-pound division? Up next, Jason Delano of Columbus, Tanner Wagner of Norfolk. Going to be a good one. 2 of the top wrestlers in the state at that weight class.
Oh, wow. Thompson got the reversal, did a really good job. Oh, Zaretsky's got to flip his hips. Almost had him in near fall criteria there.
So right back where we were about 10 seconds ago. Reversal, and Zaretsky's up 3-2. And all day still here in the third period. Oh my.
Got a cradle locked up. He's got that tight. He's got him all balled up.
Colton Zaretsky.
A lot of time.
Scoring from the top. Thompson fighting for his life here in this one, and he can't get out. There's the pin. 4:52. Jaretsky saying, that's right. One shoulder, I still got it done. And another pin for the Columbus Discoverers. Makes the score 53-14. And don't go anywhere now, folks. Here we go. For Columbus, it'll be Jason Delano, a returning state champion, a three-time state medalist, 25-1, coming off the win at the Manstead Invite last Saturday. He's headed to Kearney. He'll be at the University of Nebraska at Kearney to wrestle. And he is taking on Tanner Wagner, who was the runner-up at state last year, the senior, at 175 pounds for Norfolk. And they get right after it here, Kurt.
I would expect a lot of action this one. Jason likes to light up the scoreboard. He's only been down at 175 for a few weeks. He started up at 190 while the weight descent let him get down there.
You'll start to see, and you saw that a little bit in the NE Wrestle rankings this week. A lot of the kids that may have been rated at one spot are now moved to another spot because they are making that transition after the first of the year and the first real full week. Delano in on the shot. Wagner counters.
He's looking to lock up a cradle here on the edge. I think he's got it.
There's the takedown on his back. Look out. Look out. There it is. How about that? And that's how it ends. Jason Delano, 54 seconds with the pin over Tanner Wagner. And again, they may see each other on Saturday. And that'll make the final score of the duel, Columbus 59 and Norfolk 14. Great job tonight by the Discoverers. When we come back, we will talk with the head coach, Adam Kieswetter, and one of his star wrestlers. Keep it here on News Channel Nebraska Television.
Receiving 3 top heart and vascular honors from Health Grades reflects the trust our community places in Faith Regional. Behind every recognition is a patient who turned to us in a critical moment, a family seeking and a cardiovascular team dedicated to being there. Our specialists deliver trusted expertise, proven outcomes, and compassionate care because our patients are and always will be our why. Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute. Triple honors, one dedicated team.
Hey, it's me, one of those students on the waiting list for a teammate's mentor. I've heard teammates is so fun and awesome. You get to talk, laugh, play games, and hang out with a positive, caring adult once a week at school. Teammates help students believe in themselves, and 97% of mentees are proud to be a part of it. I'd love to be one of those mentees, but we need more mentors. So if you got an hour a week to be someone a student like me can count on, go to teammates.org today. Join the team. Be a mentor.
Hearing loss can sneak up on you, and before you know it, you're missing the moments that matter. At Faith Regional Health Services, we understand that hearing loss is different for everyone. That's why our audiologist offers solutions far beyond the basics. Michael Lazarchik works with patients of all ages, children, adults, and seniors, to truly understand how hearing loss is affecting their life. As the only location in Northeast Nebraska offering hearing implants, we provide advanced treatment for people who need more than just amplification. We tailor your specific hearing loss to the right hearing treatment option, whether that's hearing aids, bone conduction devices, or cochlear implants. Hearing well isn't just about sound. It's about connection, staying present, and living fully. Faith Regional Health Services, audiology and hearing aids, helping you hear life clearly again.
back to our NCN postgame, brought to you by Custom Sports. Doug Duda joined by the victorious coach from Columbus, Adam Keysweater. And Coach, man, what an atmosphere here tonight, and always nice to come out with a win in the rivalry.
Yeah, we're just glad to have the Power 99 wrestling rally guy back in Columbus. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, Nebraska Wrestle, the online media company, had a little podcast. They were trying to figure out who has the best atmosphere. So I invited those guys here. He came tonight, and he goes, I think you guys are in the running. So we had the band here. We had a live choir singing the national anthem. We had boys and girls and youth night. It was awesome night of wrestling, man. Our guys performed their best when it mattered. It was fun. It was all around, just everything. So.
Yeah, I mean, there were some exciting matches. Your horses, for the most part, got it done. But when we say horses, you just got so many of them.
Yeah, we got an awesome team, and these kids are a tight group, and they motivate each other in practice. And some of our practice battles are tougher than their actual matches. You know, the guys are scrapping in the room. Our senior class, you know, they've won over 600 matches. These guys have been starting for all 4 years, a lot of them, and multiple medals and a lot of gold medals in there. So we're just proud of them, and it's fun to see them have an awesome senior night. So.
You're getting ready for conference. There may be some matchups again between Columbus and Norfolk. How do you like where your team is at right now?
Yeah, we're doing great. We're coming off the Norm Manstead invite. We won it. We weren't full strength. We had Colton Drecke out of the lineup, so he's a little bit banged up. So he's back. Yeah, awesome pin right there in cradle. And don't let him lock his hands in that cradle because you're not getting out of it. So love Colton. Yeah, just an awesome performance, and we're looking forward to the conference tournament and seeing who can come out on top. It's basically us and Grand Island and Kearney. So.
I didn't see any twisters tonight.
Unfortunately, these guys, early in my wrestling or coaching career, I try to turn them into me, but now I'm just trying to turn them the best version of themselves. So we have one guy that does it, Apollo, quite a bit. So.
Tell me a little bit. We're going to talk here with Jason Delano. I mean, you never know. I mean, you have two of the top wrestlers in that weight class, but just what he did to finish it off tonight.
He's super dominant. He's hard to wrestle, and he's long and lanky. He's got that reach, so he can get to their legs from far away, but I think it was just for him. It was a senior night, and he saw how all his teammates doing. It was building the momentum, and, you know, like, everybody was winning those close matches, and Jackson got a really close win, and Jace Nelson, senior, came out on top of that one in 2:15. I think he was just feeding off the energy, and it just motivated him so much to go out there and, you know, be aggressive, and he almost took him down in like 1 second. The guy kind of slipped out. So, yeah, it was fun. I think he was just living in the moment, enjoying it, and having a good time, and, like I said, feeding off his teammates' energy. So.
All right, Adam, great to see you. We'll see you in Kearney in a few days here before we get to all that postseason stuff. Thanks. Let's bring in the wrestler of the night, and Jason Delano. Just tell me a little bit. You're waiting. We all know this is kind of like the marquee matchup. That's why they started at 190. What was going through your mind while you were waiting and waiting and waiting all night long to wrestle this match?
I just knew it was going to be intense. So when I was warming up, I was like, kept asking myself, I'm going to like keep my nerves down because I don't want to get too excited and like be up two in it and then be tired for my match. So I just played some like my music, my call music, and then Jarecki got that pin, and it really just like fired up, like it's go time. And then obviously the crowd. Yeah. The crowd always has a big part doing it, and I'm thankful for them, because without them, I don't think like our matches wouldn't be as dominant as they would be.
Tell me a little bit about your match. It didn't last very long, but tell me about the scouting report you had against another great wrestler and what you executed there to finish it off.
I knew my opponent. All respect to Tanner Wagner. He's very strong, and then I was watching his state finals match last year, and I seen how the dude that beat him in the finals, how he got takedowns on him, and I was like, and it was arm drag, and I'm like, well, that's kind of my main move. So I was just going in the match. I was like, I got it.
Senior night here, like you said, everybody's here. They made a big deal about this, and there's still a lot of season left. So what's next for you as an individual and this team at Columbus as far as the goals you still want to achieve?
I mean, yeah, I just want to, like, just ride it out with my team. Everyone's a great teammate. Everyone likes each other. Everyone has fun. And I just want to just make an impact on our underclassmen, on like, just be a great teammate. And for my goals, obviously get another state championship. But the main thing is just I just want to leave an impact for the underclassmen and show them what it's like to be a great leader and teammate.
Well, I'll get back to Kearney and warn him that you're coming next week, okay?
Yeah, I'm coming for Kearney.
Congratulations, bud. We'll see you then. There's Jason Delano, our wrestler of the night. Our marquee matchup at 175, a 54-second pin over Tanner Wagner. 59-14, the final score in tonight's duel. We'll come back and wrap things up, have a few highlights, and recap what happened in our duels right after this on NCN.
Ashoff Construction of Osmond does it all when it comes to general contracting. From agricultural storage buildings to commercial office buildings, retail warehouses to concrete contracting. The AGI Sentinel buildings help safeguard crops and valuable assets, and Ashoff's professional builders handle the job from the design through the completion of the build. For a free estimate, contact Dylan Price, Scott Pullman, or Brandon Ruge. Call 402-748-3551 today. Visit AshoffConstruction.com for more information. It all starts at Big Red Motorsports in O'Neill, a side-by-side built to work with you on the farm or the ranch. A trusted partner when you're out hunting. And the adventurous speed to feel the thrill when it's time to play. Work hard, ride hard, play hard. Big Red Motorsports in O'Neill, powering your passion every step of the way.
Nebraska Public Power District was ready to power the state's ag industry growth in the 70s and the ethanol industry in the 2000s. Today, the need for energy is growing at a rapid pace. We are ready. We are expanding our diverse energy generation mix and building onto an already reliable and resilient infrastructure, not only to power today, but to empower Nebraska's tomorrow. Nebraska Public Power District.
And Doug Duda back with you here at Columbus. Again, thank you so much to Jason Delano, our wrestler of the night, brought to you by Heritage at Fountain Point. Redefining senior living with a steadfast commitment to comfort, compassion, and dignity. Heritage at Fountain Point in Norfolk. Living better. Again, our girls duel tonight, 65-12, the final score in favor of Norfolk. And now we take a look at the highlights of tonight's great night here in Columbus. Pep band on hand, national anthem from the choral group here, little kids and JV wrestling beforehand, and of course coming out to the theme music tonight in this one as the guys and gals get ready for tonight's matchup here at Columbus and Norfolk. And we start things off here on the boys' side. We started at 190 pounds tonight, and Aiden Christensen of Norfolk was down early in this one before coming back out and seeing the win by a pin in 2 minutes and 49 seconds. We've had the girls start with some of that, though, first from some of the girls' action. The Norfolk pin at 190 pounds by Bev Bobbledike, and then it was Daphne Laredo coming up and answering right back at 235 with a scoreless first two periods, and she comes back and gets the win. Then we move on here to 105 pounds, and Kennedy Kreinert, our athlete of the night, a wrestler of the night, comes back, was on her back, but beat Olivia Bice by the pin. And then here's Giselle Consuelo coming through, followed up by Natalie Cruz getting a win for Columbus at 115 pounds. And the girls just keep rolling along here, picking up win after win after win. And another pin at 120 pounds for Alejandra Salazar. Daisy Cleveland at 125 pounds. There's another pin. And Norfolk just started to put things together after that point, as you see what Daisy was able to do out there. 41-12 at this point at 140 pounds. Kinsey Long didn't take very long. She went right out there, gets the early takedown, and finishes this thing off in 24 seconds over the freshman Peyton Huey. At an open weight class at 145 for the girls. And then finish things out here at 170 pounds with Aubrey Nicodem getting the pin over Lynette Velasquez. And the girls' duel wraps up with a win by Norfolk. Final score of 65-12. Norfolk, the number 2 team in the state in the Class A duels from NE Wrestling, behind Millard South and the defending champions. So 65-12, the final score for the girls. Then here come the boys as they get ready for their duel tonight. Move this one along a little bit quicker because we had some pins as the face-off set right there, and we move in to start at 190 pounds. And this is where Colson Andreessen got the early lead here for Norfolk, or for Columbus, but Norfolk's Aiden Christensen comes back after trailing, gets the pin at the 249 mark, and Norfolk, one of their 3 wins tonight on the boys' side of things. Then we move up to heavyweight, and Colson's brother Peyton Andreessen, kind of the same story, gets that takedown and able to finish it off with a pin in a minute and 24 seconds. Then we go back to the lower weight classes here at 106. This one was back and forth a little bit, and then Leonard Garcia makes a beautiful move there and gets the takedown and gets the pin, and the Columbus fans here going crazy. We move up to the 120-pound match, and Jackson Mateo of Norfolk with the dominant tech fall in this one, winning it 15-0 in the first period, and Mateo picking up the second win there for Norfolk. Move up to 132 pounds. Trayton Kropatch kind of does the same thing. Tech fall. Nope, he's going to get the pin right at the end over Dobler to pick up the victory. Up to Chase Jenny getting the win for Columbus at 138 pounds. And then here at 144, Drew Gallion finding a way 8-3. This thing was close right to the very end. And Braithwaite had to make a move. Gallion with the good counter. Connor Iserman at 150 pounds gets the pin. And Mason Peterson of Columbus gets the pin at 157. And then here's Colton Jarecki with a nice pin at the 452 mark. And finishes things off here at 165 pounds. And the matchup of the night, the final one here at 175, right on the edge of the mat. Jason Delano able to cradle up number 2 Tanner Wagner, the defending state champion. Again, they didn't face each other in the finals last year, but that finishes it off. He's facing the fans, does a little dance for them. He's going to go over and high-five some of the youngsters, the junior wrestlers that were here for tonight's action. And 59-14, the final score of today's duel, as Columbus continues to roll along. A good week for them as they pick up the victory here tonight. And what's up ahead for these folks? Well, for Columbus, the girls go to Schuyler on Friday, and then it's the Heartland Athletic Conference tournament on Saturday for both of these teams. And for Norfolk, the boys will be at home against Bennington Thursday night at 7 o'clock, and then their boys and girls are off to Lincoln Southeast, and then they've got a triangular with the Lincoln Standing Bear at their place on the 20th, both the boys and girls. Let's take a look at what's still coming up here, as we've got a lot over the next few days. Friday night, it is Omaha Supernova Volleyball. John Cook's squad and Merritt Beeson and all the great players going to be taking on Atlanta. 6:45, our pregame on Friday. Then on Saturday, it's the finals of the Bedeckus basketball tournament. Now, we've got the girls streaming Friday, and then the boys live. We'll play the girls game before that, but that's on Saturday afternoon. We've got the girls wrestling duels, the state duels. It's not quite sanctioned yet. Maybe one more year on that, but the Nebraska Scholastic Wrestling Coaches Association duels will be coming up on Friday, the 23rd of January. We'll be up there in Norfolk. Then on the 24th, we've got basketball action on the south, Central Catholic Adams Central for that annual matchup. And then on the north, Pender and Howells Dodge, another chance to look at those great girls from Pender. Howells Dodge, one of the top 2 teams on the boys' side as well. So that's what's coming up on NCN. And, of course, you can follow along anytime. YouTube, the NCN Sports channel. A lot of people are always asking, I was at the event, how can I go back and watch it? Well, Facebook, X, and, of course, the NCN Sports YouTube channel. Check that out for any of the great sporting events we do throughout the year. Well, that's going to wrap things up tonight. Thanks again to our post-game sponsor, Custom Sports. From screen-printed T-shirts to jerseys, they have what your team needs to look great. Check them out at CustomSportsCO.com. And again, a big thank you to all the folks here in Columbus, Coach Bice, Coach Keysweater, Athletic Director, Tim Kwapnowski, our producer and engineer for tonight's activity, Connor Luby. Again, thank you so much to former coach in Kurt Shevlin for joining us again here this year at Columbus, and to all of our folks behind the scenes doing all the hard work, not having to wear the gold jacket, but they're the ones doing the hard work, and we appreciate them as well. I'll see you in Norfolk a week from Friday, and until then, this is Doug Dudas saying thanks for watching high school wrestling tonight on News Channel Nebraska.
We now join regular programming on News Channel Nebraska. That's the idea behind Stretch Across Nebraska. Brought to you by Medica and News Channel